Welcome to the Vault Excel. Thank you for joining me. Woo, it's been a busy day for the Queen. Hello, Miss Morton. Or is this Mrs. Morton? Thank you for joining me. I saw they had set up a GoFundMe, a fund set up to help with counseling and travel. The goal was 100,000. They have 4,000 so far. Wait a minute. Who are you speaking of? $100,000 for travel, counseling, and travel. Travel for what? I just can't understand why he used so much force. I don't know. As I always tell people, everything's about perception. That's the way the world is. You know, two people can look at a glass and somebody thinks it's full, somebody thinks it's half full. Everybody's perception is different. Hello, Miss Campbell. How are you? Now somebody wants to just fall in. Oh, is that what they were waiting on me to start talking? Now, usually people just come in and start chatting in the chat. They just waiting for me to start talking. Well, hello, everybody. Please check out Queen's uploads. I did a lot of uploads today pertaining to Miss Massey, Sean Grayson, Ryan Anderson, Gypsy Rose. Woo, we're gonna have a powwow tomorrow about Gypsy Rose. We're gonna tear the house down tomorrow because I got a lot to talk about. I really need to reach out to Mr. Anderson. I don't know if he would respond to the Queen or not, but I want to talk to him. This, as somebody under the TikTok video says, it's time for you to start talking, bro. It is time for you to start talking. Tell it like a T.I. is. Hope everybody's well. Hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. Countdown's on its way. Oh, the family. Well, I just wanted to make sure you were talking about them because I'm trying to figure out where do they need to travel. She's already been buried, so what do they need $100,000 for? For what? For a lawyer? Mr. Crump's representing them? Has he asked for funds? Money? Curious. Yeah, everything's about perception. Because a lot of people don't want to accept the fact about her throwing the pot because they keep saying they didn't see it, but it's two cameras. Two cameras. One, his was not on, and the other guy's was Deputy B, his was on. So that's the gist. Seth Rodgers has spoken this evening with Mr. Tony Mathis. He talked a little bit about his son playing games and naturally missing his son, still having hope for his son. A few people, he answered a few questions. Whew, they couldn't wait to get down to business. Conversations about dump trucks. He didn't speak on that because he said, God forbid if I have an opinion. I feel kind of like that, Seth. Everybody wants to hear what you have to say, but then when you say it, they got a problem. People are strange. You know, creatures, we are some strange creatures. We are some very strange creatures. First, we want you to say something. Then when you say something, you're mad at what they're saying. They don't talk, you're mad. When they're talking, you're mad. I've never seen anything like it. Well, what do you want? Because you can't have it all. It's just the way it is. Hello, Gio. Hello. No, Mr. Petito was not. Oh, what do you need to reread, honey? Hello, Wanda. How are you? So they talked about people asking questions about, the FBI, different things, certain things he has talked, with the FBI about, certain things he's not, I guess, willing to, discuss certain things because I think he should keep certain things to himself. They also talked about a future vigil, I think at the Harley Davidson establishment. And Queen was quipping back during the live, oh, they'll be complaining about that too. Because it's always a damn complaint. Is it not? It's I've never seen anything like it. It's just like every day it's something. I keep telling myself as of late, you know what? Don't even fret over anything. So long as you're breathing and above ground, hey, let folks fall out. Because what you eat don't make me fat. That's what I tell myself. And I wake up happy in a good mood every day. I love waking up. I got a routine. Okay? I was watching Frasier tonight and I just laughed to myself. See, that's when you know You can depend on yourself for happiness. You in your own space, your own lane. You're not worried about nothing. You ain't worried about what somebody doing, saying, and you just laughing at the television. That's when you're at peace. That's when you're free. Because as we say sometimes, freedom ain't really free. Free ain't really free. But guess what? Tonight I was free all day. Hey, I was like, OJ, I'm free all day because I was enjoying myself. Sometimes that's what you need to do. Enjoy your own company. But back to business. Something he said about the child, going by his room. And I guess the conversation came up about him not wanting to go home. Sebastian didn't want to go home. That struck me. That and the taking him out the day before school or the day of school. That I find it interesting, that conversation, because I've always asked about that in my head. I've asked it out loud. Of course, Seth has never, answered it to me about talking to Katie. So I wish he had elaborated during the live if he went to Katie and said something to her and Chris. Hey, my son seems a bit down. He doesn't want to come home. I'd like to know why he didn't want to tell me anything. Is there something you'd like to tell me? That's what I would have done. And I don't know that he's done that, but I'm speaking for Queen. I definitely would have asked Katie. Katie, is there something you'd like to tell me about my son? Ooh, Lord, that's why Queen ain't doing it. A baby daddy would hate Queen because I couldn't put up with it. That's why when I look at all these problems people having with children and wives and boyfriends and girlfriends, just the stuff I brought on the network, the guy I know who just found out his child isn't his child, a grown 26-year-old son. See, I hate drama. I really do. That's why I don't fool with a lot of people, and people know how I am. They know that how you see me up here on the panel is how I get down in real life. I don't like static because it's stressful, and I don't want to be, wrapped up in drama. I couldn't do the kid drama stuff, baby daddy this, baby mama, sister cousin type drama. Man, I would flip my lid. I'm telling you, I would wig out. I don't like problems. So one thing I would never want to do is have to be arguing with another person about my child. He said and she said, and my child said you did this. And man, you talk about getting me 25 to life, I probably would. About mine, most definitely. Because I'm telling you, everybody's different, but I'm speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for Seth, I'm speaking for Queen. If my child uttered that they were unhappy at the house, I'm already on the horn. And I'm going to tell my child, and I'm getting ready to talk to the other parent so my child won't be stunned when this other person tries to confront him, because that's usually what a parent's going to do. Well, why'd you go back and say woo, woo, woo? We all going to have a round table discussion. And I won't doubt that maybe if they had that discussion, Sebastian would be around right now. That's my personal opinion. Yeah, I said that. I think he'd be around had he said something to her and Chris. Because if it was some funny games played with the child by those two, they wouldn't have thought about nothing. Hell no. I would have had a talk with her. Hey, homegirl, I'm going to talk to you for just a second. Well, we can do it all together. The child, Katie, Chris, round table. Well, what's the problem? My child don't want to go back home. Do you have any reasons? Any inkling to why my child doesn't want to go to your house? Then I let them answer. And I don't like the answer. I'm going to put it down to you. I'm going to put it down to you. I don't know. But $100,000 seems like a lot. Her children are about grown, so I'm just trying to understand $100,000. Who's going to get the $100,000? You have to be very careful with stuff like that, because many people going to look like, okay, we understand the children might need clothes and shoes and things like that. I'm all for that. If the children need some clothes and shoes, I'm a queen. I'm a definite giver. Your baby needs some socks and some shoes. Well, just give me an itemized list. Give us all a list of what the two kids need. They need some sneakers. They need some blue jeans. They need some shirts. they need some toiletries, let us know. Because we know they're getting ready to go stay at somebody's house. And maybe that somebody don't make enough money to take both children in. So just tell us what they need. We can build a care package. But $100,000, we have to know where the money's going, because that's a lot of money. We have to already know you've got a doctor lined up for the counseling, and they write the check to the doctor directly. I'm not trying to be funny, but it's just a lot of money to ask up front, because we're not talking about a missing person. She's already deceased, so that strikes me strange. And the children are underage, so they should be getting some type of medical care. So they should already have medical to go see a counselor. Under the circumstances, I think any medical provider would understand the children need to see a psychiatrist. Mm-hmm. Oh, are we talking about something else? Maybe I'm confused. Oh, I must have came in late on that. Because I kept seeing his video, but it kept acting like he wasn't on. Because I was rushing trying to finish up my shorts. And then I would see it in the queue. And 1 minute it'll flash like he hadn't come on. The next minute it'll flash like he was on. So I was trying to hurry up and hook everything up. So I missed part of that where he was showing the child, I guess. I just was at the GoFundMe. 1,600 donations, 49,000. Whew, yeah, that's a nice little amount. Okay. Oh yeah, the guests in advance. Yeah, he mentioned that too. So a lot was mentioned. The dump truck, Tony spoke on that. He don't believe that was the dump truck. And then Seth said he wouldn't give his opinion on that. You know, he made a little remark about that. God forbid if he's ever give his opinion about anything. Yeah, but you have to be careful about anything you say. They're going to critique whatever you say. That's all these people do. They look for any little thing to critique, make up, spread, lie. It's just the way it is. But as I was saying, as far as the child not want to go home, I would have had a talk with Katie and Chris. That's how that would have went. I would have asked. Then somebody asked about the garbage can. Was that him going to the garbage can? Seth said he didn't know. He said he hoped it is him, so that way they have verification that, a timeline of the child being alive. But it's still going to go back to the same thing. How did he get out the house? Even if that's the child going to the garbage can and they can verify it. The police still going to have to come back with how he got out of the house. And that's where your problem is. And if they already done told you, they don't have anything to verify he came out, then you got your answer. It's a matter of, do you want to accept the answer? That's where that goes. Yeah. Did he say that in the video? Because I didn't hear it at the beginning. Let me see. Let me go back and play it, because I came in a few minutes late. Lord have mercy. Always some drama. Never ending. Oh, Jesus. Tell me the devil ain't a liar. A liar and a thief. Let's see. Well, it must be true, because I see the first comment is about Joe Petito. Jesus wept. Look at all these missing children. So at the beginning of his video, he's showing missing children. That's a wonderful thing. Show all these missing people. I was thinking about all these people here in Tennessee. Our news has been showing missing people here in our area. People, unsolved murders. since the early 2010. It was like 50 something, under 50, something like that. That's too many people. Somebody knows something. So it shows the baby playing with toys.
This is where he ran to.
They play the music. So he's out playing. Got his son playing.
I mean, he really had fun. I hope you all enjoy some of these pictures and these videos.
I'll get past that. The child's out playing. Now that aquarium.
Keep your fingers out of your eyes,
Hello, Sky. I didn't hear it mentioned. So I missed that. 11 minutes of the video I missed. At the aquarium. God, I missed,
and of course,
I missed quite a bit.
As always, glad. And, appreciated us asking him to do so.
Unfortunately,
as you
phone call was
chat for sure.
well, I tell you what, the interest gets to me no matter what.
So we're gonna get on into it, and again, just can't tell you guys how much those of you that continue to support Seth, we appreciate you. As most of you know, we had a special guest planned for tonight. I had reached out to Joe Petito about a week ago and asked him if he would like to come on and support Seth and Sebastian and talk about Gabby's foundation. Of course, he was, as always, glad to do that, glad to help, and appreciated us asking him to do so.
Unfortunately,
it's
a phone call this morning. I guess there's some vile people in the world that, still don't want me to find my son, still putting up opposition, and decided to be, that bad portion of humanity and threaten somebody. So, unfortunately, I understand. I don't want him and his family to suffer from anything. So, I just think it's really vile that people can still do that. I just want to find my son.
So what is going on?
And I asked him specifically what Joe had said. He said that Joe had told him that he had been threatened. His family had been threatened. His foundation had been threatened. I had no reason not to believe Seth, but I also wanted to talk to Joe myself. So I reached out to Joe. I apologized to Joe for anything he was experiencing on our behalf. Asked him more specifically what it was that had happened, and he said that he was threatened to have his personal information put out there, and Gabby's foundation was actually threatened as well. So we're not going to dig any deeper into that. I just would like to say that it saddens me that anybody would threaten his family or his foundation. But Joe, if you're listening or you hear this, again, apologies on my behalf and Seth's behalf that you had to experience that. I'm blown away that there are people that are that determined to keep two grieving fathers from connecting, but we're not going to give that any more.
Help me understand what I'm listening to. So we have somebody threatening Mr. Petito and putting his personal information out there. That sounds crazy to me. People already know about these people. What is going on? What the hell is wrong with you people? Threaten to tell what? All you got to do is Google. So what is it that you got? What you got on Joe? What does Joe have to do with Sebastian? What does Gabby have to do with Sebastian? Please help me understand. Threaten to do what exactly? Maybe it's a YouTuber that did it because they love doxing each other. These folks on YouTube. Maybe this is a YouTuber that don't like Seth. Take your pick. If it's true. I'm not here to say Mr. Joe Petito's a liar. I'm just saying this is bizarre to me because you can Google most people. Once you have the government name, you can Google and find, last address, sister, cousin, brother. You pay one of them little stupid apps to try to figure out who's related to who. So I'm trying to figure out what secret that they're going to reveal. If he was going to live a life of secrecy, he would have never came out to talk about his daughter. So I'm trying to figure out what is it that you could threaten him with. I help the queen understand because I'm confused. What could you possibly threaten Joe Petito with? He's been on the news with his family, ex-wife and her husband from day one. So what is it that you get ready to put out about Joe Petito? That sounds like some YouTube shit to me. Excuse my language. Now you all can go throw daggers and say it's that other side of the family doing it. Could be, but the point is you got to sleep with that. I wouldn't be scared of nothing because first of all, where does Joe Petito live? He don't live in Hendersonville. He don't live in Clarksville. He don't live in Tennessee. They don't even live down here. But the fact that somebody would even think to send a letter, email, inbox, you're sick. You're wacko. So you ought to went from Seth taking down pictures of the little boy, flyers. Y'all over there in North Carolina telling folks he found and he ain't found. You'll hear that in the video with Seth. You people are busy. Awfully busy. And I don't know who's behind all this lying and stuff, but you're sick. Very, very sick. Now I understand what Tony was saying. Not want any harm to come to he and his family, causing them, any extra stress. But missing people's families meet up all the time. So what is it about this case that all of a sudden everybody now can't talk to nobody? You got to go try to find them and find out who they're talking to and threatening organizations. That's some old troll SHIT. That's some troll stuff. Nobody's about to do a damn thing to Joe Petito. You put your money on that. You put your money on that. Nobody's about to do anything to the Petitos or the extended family. These people are being in the news from day one about their child, and they are still breathing. So that should tell you something. So no whack job affiliated with this case or want to be affiliated with this case is going to do a damn thing to the Petitos. Okay? Stop trying to make this into some conspiracy. This ain't no crazy assassination attempt. Come on, let's take it back to earth. This is stupid. Now, naturally, people will start pointing fingers. Well, who could it be that don't want the child found? What I said. A troll? Because you have nasty people who comment on the videos and commentary. When people go live, people come in being nasty. They just do juvenile SHIT. You see it all the time. It don't concern you, it ain't about you. Then move on. Well, what's the big deal? You don't care about the little boy, so what do you care what his father is doing and who his father's talking to? It's none of your damn business, first of all. If they decide they want to go fishing, it's none of your business. But that's the kind of world we live in. Everybody's so concerned with what other people are doing. Losing sleep. That's a sign of a sick person. Now, I bet you somebody will say, I'm going to go call Joe. I'm going to ask him directly myself. For what? It's none of your business. Jesus Christ. Just show you how sick people are. So whoever's out there meddling in this, it's none of your business. You obviously don't care about the child being found. You don't care about Mr. Seth, and you don't care about Mr. Petito. You don't care about Gabby's foundation or any of those extended people. So just crawl under the rock you came from and find you some business, baby. That's all you got to do. It's not that serious. Very sick situation. Lord have mercy. And threaten the foundation. For what? What's going to happen to the foundation? Nothing.
Maritime, nor are we going to call people out specifically. We're going to move on. But what we'd like to do tonight is, I know we've got a lot of people that have had a lot of questions that on the first episode we were not able to get to. So, Seth, I'd like you to turn your chat off. We're going to actually take some questions from the chat. So if you guys have got some questions that you would like Seth to answer.
Turn my chat off, huh?
Yes, I do. Please.
Seth is something
I
else.
think everybody on here knows why.
Turn your chat off.
Yeah, let's get some of these questions moving in, and we'll get Seth to answer these questions. Let's see.
Sad. So sad. This is a bizarre situation I have never seen in my life. Some weird people that get involved in these true crime cases.
Interesting question here a minute ago that while I'm waiting on some more questions to come into the chat, I think we've got it slowed down. But
yeah, put them on blast. Exactly.
How you were doing in your personal life, and then they followed up by asking if you were dating anybody. So
see, knows why.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't tell nobody I was dating anybody. They go run, make up something on that.
So someone says, Seth, just how are you in general? How are you recovering from surgery? How are you doing emotionally? I mean, we know the short answer to that, but can you elaborate on kind of how things are going since the surgery?
Well, I have an appointment coming up. They want to do x-rays, post-surgery x-rays, and then I'll have an appointment with my doctor afterwards. So then they'll let me know how everything was starting to heal.
So Smiley Stories World says, how old was Sebastian in that video? I might have missed that. Thank you for sharing the video with us.
That was done in October, right before they came up here. Been here 4 years, so that was 5 years ago. That was while we were still in California.
So just to be clear, guys, when I told Seth to turn off the chat, I wasn't talking about the chat. I was talking about him seeing the chat. So that's all. We're gonna keep the chat moving.
Yeah, because it's hard to concentrate when you're watching the comments.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now I took chat off.
Let's see. Any searches in Alaska?
We have, when it comes to Alaska, there's been a few people in Alaska that have said that they'll print out and hand out flyers. So I have to rely on humanity for that.
That comes from Nunya Business. That name's right up your alley, isn't it, Seth?
Hey, we're not going there.
So Sonja asks, what happened with Sebastian's 2 doggies that he had?
Oh, I have no idea. You're talking about Katie's dogs?
I think that's what they're asking about.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on in that household.
Right.
Yeah, my son's not there, so
People asking all these questions about these people.
Yeah, waste of time.
So someone asks what searches look like with you specifically. I'll let you answer that to the extent that you want to.
Well, I don't know, Tony. You were with me for all the boat searches that we did.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important for everybody to understand.
Let me ask you, Swings. I wasn't gonna say anything about it because I don't like dealing with he said, she said stuff. But why should Alaska be a question? Do you know how far Alaska is from Tennessee? So why would Alaska be of importance? Please explain to me. Go ahead. Because I told myself I'll get tired of dealing with foolishness, but I'm gonna go ahead and role play. What's the significance of Alaska? Help me understand. What's so important about Alaska? Okay, so they went there. So I want you to think about what you're insinuating. You're insinuating what? Somebody unalived the child and took him up there? Who's gonna take a dead body that far? I'm trying not to be, disrespectful during this live stream. But come on now. Yeah, some people will take people out of state. That has happened. People take people next door. But you talk, if you know what the United States map looked like, I just want you to think about that for just a second. Alaska is nowhere near here. And I'm 3 hours from them, from their area. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Who's going to take a body from Tennessee to Alaska? Come on now. You got to stop. You got to use the bathroom. You got to fill up. You got to sleep. And if you dispose of a body up there, you got to hope the body's not found. Because if it is, detectives, they're going to try to figure out whose body it is. Well, my thing is this: you can dispose of a body anywhere. To me, Alaska's, I wouldn't even put no thought into that. When people get rid of people, they get rid of people what's familiar to them. That'd be preposterous to drive that far to dump a body. Common sense would tell you the child got missing between the 25th and the 26th. He was, if he was on alive, he's been discarded before daylight of the 26th.
That
Jesus Christ.
We are at a point now where we're doing targeted searches with searches that are backed with information. Our PI is handling a lot of those searches, and quite frankly, that the only reason Seth was invited to the last one is that she wanted us to do some water searching, and Seth wanted to be in the boat for that. But I can tell you that we were out there for 4 days straight. It was probably 104, 108 degree heat index, and we were out there for 8 to 10 hours a day. Does that sound accurate, Seth?
It was long. Enough that I got sun. I mean, I went from looking pale to looking like I've been outside all summer. Reading the graphs and everything, you don't realize how long you do it until you realize what time it is.
Right.
You're not even paying attention to the song, to time. You're just listening to the motor, watching the graph, and paying attention to the other graph so we don't hit shore. I mean, looking for anything that may or may not be like it's supposed to be there. Have a place.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, and we can kind of address too while we're here together. So we got a phone call from Jamie Vaughn at Channel 2 News asking for updates regarding the search. And Jamie's a great person, phenomenal person. But we gave her the info that we'd found some items of interest and what we'd had to go through to clear those items of interest. And but all those items of interest had been cleared and were not related to Sebastian in any way, shape, or form. Unfortunately, the last part of that did not get put. Yeah, didn't get relayed on the story. So she came out and sent some messages trying to correct that. Of course, by then people had taken it and run with it. But just so you guys know, there's a process when you find an item that doesn't look like it belongs, and it could take 20, 30 minutes to clear that item. We found 6 or 8 of those items in that four-day period. So all of those items,
do your due diligence.
yeah, all of those items were cleared.
So what were the items that they found? I guess they don't want to relay those items to the public. So what were those items? Well, I'm assuming Seth was streaming from his own computer, StreamYard, because it came from his channel. So it's Seth's channel. It would be, the content comes from Seth's channel. So they deal with each other. That's why he's on there.
And fortunately, none of those items were related to Sebastian. So, so Slim Hauser says, has Hendersonville Walmart placed Sebastian's missing flyer on their wall?
I believe this picture is at Hendersonville.
Okay. Let's see. Seth, do you have any new leads? For
Can't
me?
answer that question.
Okay. Yeah, we love questions about Sebastian too, as I'm getting through these guys. Have you had any, someone asked if you had any communication with Chris and Katie at all?
That would be a negative ghostwriter.
Okay.
So no contact with Katie and Chris. That's no shock.
Do we still have an open line of communication with law enforcement?
I would say possibly. I haven't called them.
Wow.
So single mom WTF True Crime says,
Let's talk about that. No communications with Chris and Katie. That's no shock. So Seth, why haven't you called the police department? Is there a reason why you haven't talked to the sheriff's department? Do you not feel like they're doing due diligence to find your child, or you all don't have a good rapport, or what's the deal? Very interesting. Definitely want to keep an open line of communications with them. Even if you don't like what's been said or done, it's that old saying, you don't want to burn any bridges. Because this is a very atypical type of situation. And you want to stay in line with these folks and talk to them best you can. I'm sure it's hard because I'm not in your shoes. Make that clear. But we don't want it to be where you all can't talk because you all are bumping heads. So I am curious to why he hasn't called. So Seth, when was the last time you had an actual conversation with the detective that's on the case? Was it a positive interaction or a negative? I probably already know the answer to that, but anyway.
what are the kind of the prospects of you going back to work? Do you know when that's going to happen yet? I know we've talked about it a little.
What, me going back to work?
Yes, sir.
That would be as soon as my doctor actually tells me I can.
Okay.
So he'll go back to work when his doctor tells him he can go back.
Let's see. So Lauren asks, has there been any searches in Horn Lake? I don't know that we can discuss where any of those searches are from this point forward. Can we, Seth?
We don't really discuss it. Everybody knew that we were out on the boat because I put it out there where we were. So most of our searches are held private unless we find something of value. If we find something of value, then we turn it over to law enforcement. And you guys would not know. If we search someplace and we don't find anything, then I let you all know. That way it doesn't impede.
Someone tells me my ribbon's upside down. I apologize for that.
Huh.
Shame on you.
I know.
Woo. Mercy,
Let's
mercy,
see.
mercy. Help me, Jesus.
This comes from K-Max, Seth. This is a good question. Can you speak to Sebastian's interest in FFA? That's a great question.
Future Farmers of America?
Yes.
I was in it when I was in school. Last year for Christmas, he literally asked for books on plants and animals.
Hmm.
And he got a couple books from his grandma for him. I went and got him a couple books as well. That's what he asked for.
Just old young kid.
So you think that interest in FFA came from you?
I think it came from himself, really. I mean, he's the one that wanted to know about growing things, and he wants to take care of animals. I enjoy living on a farm, things like that. Sebastian had animal therapy before, and when he was going to school in Kansas at the very beginning.
Oh, they lived in Kansas. I didn't know that.
In California, they used animal therapy, and he really responded to that. He really liked horses, loves cats.
So now we ask the question, why was he using animal therapy? Because he said something about Kansas before going to California. Why was a child using animal therapy? I'm curious.
I mean, he's been exposed to a lot of different type of pets: snakes, lizards, cats, dogs.
So Anonymous Aphrodite asks, Seth, have you spoke to forensics yet?
Speak to forensics. That would be Sumner County, and I haven't spoken to anybody in forensics.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hasn't spoken to anyone in forensics.
So,
Hmm.
let's see, has Katie been keeping up with you? You answered that. Ellie is honesty prevails. Yes, Ellie is still staying in touch with Seth. You kind of answered that a little bit ago.
Is Katie keeping up with him? She's probably watching in the shadows.
Seth, what do you want to talk a little bit about the Vigil? I know there's been a lot of people asking about that. For those of you guys, it is August 24th, so you want to kind of tell them what we put together today?
Well, we're going to be working with an animal rescue up here in Clarksville. And then after that, we will be meeting up at the Harley Davidson for our vigil and our prayer.
Harley Davidson.
What else I want to do, but I'm hoping for a nice turnout.
Animal rescue.
You know, I hope Sebastian matters to people. And because he likes animals is why we're going to go help out in the animal rescue and try to get things for them.
So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to put together a ride. The ride will start out at a named location. The ride will go to a second location to where we are working with a local animal shelter, and their name and whatnot will be on the flyer. But we will meet essentially in a business in a parking lot where the animal shelter can bring all the animals out for adoption. The bikers and the rest of us will pull in there and give the animals some attention. They will donate money to the animal shelter in Sebastian's name. At that point, we'll leave. The bikers will leave, and they will finish up the ride at the Harley shop in Clarksville, where we'll have food for everyone in attendance, and we'll have the vigil to close things out. So, is that a good description, Seth, you think?
I didn't know we were doing the ride. I thought we were just doing it together. I mean, if we're going to do a ride, then it's a ride too.
Yeah.
We're going to the animal rescue place because taking care of animals is Sebastian's thing. And then we're all going to meet for the vigil at Harley Davidson here in Clarksville.
So we do have a group of bikers that are going to be involved in that, though, correct, Seth?
It's still a work in progress.
5 months.
Okay.
We 5 months.
What we do know right now is we do
in
have
5
a
minutes
rescue, that is participating.
I was just sitting here thinking. It is 11:55 Eastern Standard Time. Clarksville, Hendersonville, they're an hour behind Queen. So in 5 minutes, it'll be the 25th, 26th, 26th. It'll be 5 months, allegedly, to the date that he went missing. Wow. What about that? That's probably why he went live. I just thought about that. So what day did he go missing? 25th to 26th, which is it? I was just sitting here counting on my fingers like a little kid. Doesn't even seem like it's been that long. Just winter. We've gone from winter, spring, in summer. Kids will be going back to school shortly. College students, regular students. This child won't be going to school to hang out with his peers, see his teachers. We never heard of him engaging in any school activities, which is quite pathetic, because I hate using the word sad. He should have been doing things at school. School activities, going to football games, basketball games. I did it in school. Most children participate in sports, even as a spectator. You don't have to actually play, basketball, football, soccer, but we go to the games. Even as grown-ups, we go back to our high schools and go watch the game. This is sad. Oh, hate that word. This is insane to me. So he just went to school and came back home. Lord have mercy. Can't make this stuff up. Just pisses me off.
In the event, we do know it's going to be August 24th, and we'll get everybody details.
We know the dates, and they'll be on the flyers when we get them out by the end of the week, end of next week.
Absolutely.
So now this is the end of the week already.
Let's see. Seth, someone asked, do you think it was Sebastian that took out the trash Sunday night?
Lord of mercy. Going in the belly of the beast.
I'm not 100% sure. It was dark and it was grainy on that video.
But yet it was
I'm
him.
praying it was.
And everybody telling.
At least we know when he was last seen.
Absolutely.
Was that Sebastian going to the trash?
Smiley, we have some mainstream media outlets that we've got ready to do interviews.
Thank the Lord.
Quite frankly, we had the search, and Seth knew his own live was coming, and Seth really, wants to do, maybe an interview a week. So probably we'll see a mainstream media interview next week, but I leave that up to Seth. If he tells me that he's ready to do another interview, then we've definitely got people willing and waiting to do interviews all the way from local stations to national stations.
Oh, I am so glad that they mentioned that. That's who you need to be dealing with anyway, mainstream media, because mainstream goes a long way. At some point, it'll touch all four corners of the United States and abroad. Because what I've always told people, everybody does not watch YouTube. Most of the people who I talk to who are on Facebook, they don't watch YouTube. They watch YouTube as something specific that they engage in. And true crime isn't one of those things. And this group of people, not all, but the majority that I've seen in this, they're not people that should even be talking to anybody missing. A victim's family, or not even a cat or a dog. Yeah, I said that. So I'm glad that they're keeping up with talking to mainstream, because that's who you need to talk to. Because when people Google a story, they want to see a news story that comes up, not a TikTok video and a YouTube video from Pookie or Ray Ray or Bubbaville, who's making up shit and throwing out stuff. No, people want facts. And that's the thing about a story. Everything's a version. So even when in the news, they don't know any more than what's told to them. So it starts with the people in the story, which would be Katie. Then there's law enforcement. They get their information from Katie. And then there's the news. So it's a stair step. Parent, law enforcement, news. So the news repeats what the police told them. The police gets their information from the parent. So what you have to always remember, everything's a version. Everything is a version. So this is why I always tell people, stop bickering about what he said and she said when you're going off of somebody's version. So if somebody walks up to the police and say, hey, my kid is missing. That's a version. Doesn't mean that it's true. It's just what they told the police. So then the police, he investigates, the detectives. And they work their way in, out, as they should. Then they talk to the news. And then the parents may talk to the news, depending if they want to talk to the news. And then the news repeats what Pookie Ray Ray said about the victim. And it doesn't mean that it's the truth. It's just a version. Yeah, I went in the room and he was gone. She was gone. I don't know what happened. It's a version. You either believe it or you don't believe it. That's what people need to understand about anything. Whether it's involving a missing child, missing adult. Anything that comes off a person's tongue is just that. A version. What did you do today? Well, I got up and I cooked an omelet and eggs and toast, and then I went to the mall and I went to lunch at Old Charlie's and I had a hamburger, French fry, and then I went home and I took a nap. It's all a version. You don't know if it's true or not. Who's going to verify it? That's my point. Everything's a version. whether it's true crime or somebody spinning you a story about what they did yesterday. They went to Walmart, they shopped, they picked up cat food, dog food. Doesn't mean it's the truth. It's just their version. It's what you can prove.
So I appreciate the question.
Very lonely. Very lonely existence.
Seth, Hope B asks, is there anything that we can do to help other than spread his picture?
I mean, that's the only thing I ask people to do. You know, that's the very least.
Exactly.
You know, strike conversations with people.
Yes.
Ask them if they've seen.
Yes.
Word of mouth goes by a lot fast too. You know.
Exactly.
It's not just having his picture. You got to be willing to speak about it.
Exactly.
Bear 90 asks, did Sebastian have any obvious birthmarks that you're aware of, Seth?
No. But to me, it's freckles.
Well, there's not any updates, Melissa.
Does Sebastian play games? This is Unstoppable. Did Sebastian play games with other people online?
What do you mean? Like, besides people that were friends with my PlayStation?
I think that's what they're asking. Just maybe describe kind of what he did on the PlayStation. I know you guys played games together and whatnot. I think that's what they're asking.
I mean, he played on my phone when he played Modern Call of Duty Mobile, and he played on the PlayStation. He got there, and he played Modern Warfare on there. You know?
Let's see.
I mean, sometimes I wonder because people, like I played Call of Duty Mobile, and I was just on it yesterday. And it's like when Taco talked about he couldn't tell the difference between me or Sebastian playing mobile. You know, we're talking about my rating is like a 91%. Most of the time, I'm getting 20-something kills. You know, max is 50, over half the kills. I mean, Sebastian was that good. I mean, I'm pretty sure he could have streamed him playing and actually been, you know, competitive at least.
So we got just a comment that came in that was very nice. Want to be sleuthing something? That's pretty funny. I told people about him at a birthday party the other day. I tell everyone about him. My kids would come home during the school year and ask, did they find Sebastian yet?
I'll never find him. I hope that every day is today or tomorrow.
Wow.
So let's see. Ruthie says, don't understand if the outside garage lights are supposed to be on all the time. If that was Sebastian taking out the trash, there would be light.
Yeah, the light wasn't on.
Well,
that's
stop right there. He can't say that it was his child going to the trash, to empty the trash. So was it Sebastian going to the trash? Number one. Number two, do they normally keep their lights on or off outside? If we find out they are normally on, then why on this particular night they're off? You use your own deduction on that. Why the lights would be off if normally on. Very interesting. Mercy me.
That's a valid comment, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Skullified asks, were there any searches before they became private? Were there any searches done
Of how?
by the area where the RV was at?
Say that again.
Before we started doing the searches privately, were there any searches done by the area where the RV was?
There were some people out there that had done some searching, put flyers out. And I know that the FBI had been out there.
Well, FBI.
Because where the trailer was at is over the line in Mississippi, and the FBI responded to that.
Okay.
Let's talk about that. FBI has been down there to their RV, so let's ask, when did they actually go to the RV down in Mississippi, Memphis, wherever it was parked? What date did they go? Did they search the general area of the RV park on the property where the RVs are parked, around there? 1 mile in, out, vast land. What did they find? Interesting. See, everything's about timing. Because first you got to get a definite on when a person went missing. Because that takes up your time investigating, trying to piece together, naturally, a timeline of when a person got missing. Because every minute is pivotal. Everybody knows this. And especially when you're dealing with homicide, you know, it's the old adage, first 48. Exactly. It's important. That's why the information has to be, you know, hey, at least 99.1. Can't have any fudging. Because it puts you behind trying to get to the truth. Somebody don't really remember the color of a car. They don't really remember who the person was walking with, who they were talking with. Sometimes we think we're being helpful and we're not. Because we don't have a good memory, it's bad business. You have to be accurate. Yeah, I saw them in a black shirt, black pants, standing by the mailbox, stop sign. There was a guy there. He was yay tall, blonde hair, you know, brown hair, black hair. You got to be specific. Because every minute counts into locating a person. And I think police have given you a synopsis of what has happened to the child. It's a matter of do you believe it or not. And they've already told you we don't have anything. We don't have CCTV footage of the child. So they're telling you what you need to know. It's a matter of do you believe it. Then why would they lie? What's the purpose of lying? If I don't have CCTV footage, what does that tell you? Then he couldn't have gone to the garbage can. Bingo card. Come on with it, Queen. Police says we have no CCTV footage of him. So I'm going to use deduction. You mean nothing. Nothing. So nothing is what? From the restaurant to the house? What are we saying? Because when I think of we don't have anything, I think of nothing, period. Now, Seth months ago verified he saw the child come out of the restaurant with Katie. So I'm assuming what? The police is talking about at the house we don't have nothing. I don't know. I like to hear people say it, you know, in a roundabout way. Because everybody don't interpret everything the same. That's why I keep trying to tell everybody. Everything's about perception. You hear something that I don't hear. So I'm supposed to assume he's speaking of at the house. We don't have nothing. I read the news, the chief speak clear words. We have footage of the child walking into the restaurant with the mother. We have footage of him coming out of the restaurant with the mother. We have footage of her car turning to the left of the road, right of the road. That's the type of talk I like. I don't want to hear from other people. Because that's all I've heard in this case. That's all I've heard in Summer Wells' case. I get tired of hearing other people's opinion. I don't want your opinion. I want to hear law enforcement tell me this is what we have on camera verification. Because talk is cheap. And that's all you've heard with this case. It's the same like all the other cases. Just a bunch of bumbling idiots telling what they think. That's not proof. People want proof, such as somebody showing video of a person's house normally having lights on. This is what they normally do. This is where they normally park their car. See where I'm going? That's more helpful than somebody assuming they know where somebody parked their car, when they park their car, what time they come out to go to work. A video is better. Because anybody can just say, oh, yeah, they usually come out, 7:30 every morning. Let me see. Show me proof they come out 7:30 every morning, 7:31. And then on this one day, they don't come out 7:30. See where I'm going? That's the joy of them damn doorbell cameras. So we have a child that didn't mingle, didn't play with people, didn't go outside, didn't ride bicycles. So that means he's probably going in the house through the garage with his mother. So you're not going to see him, except for coming outside to empty the trash. Then you got to ask that question. If he's the one that normally empties the trash, does he come out all times of day and night to empty the trash? Because, naturally the trash gets full at different times of the day. So is he the type that'll empty it at 6 p.m., 4 p.m., 8 in the morning, 10 in the morning? Or he's seen on camera coming out, as I said, different times of day, emptying the trash. Who's going to tell it? While everybody's talking to YouTubers, why don't you tell that?
So, Justin Zalowski Sr. Says, and I had about 3 or 4 people reach out to me today, says there's a flyer in North Carolina Walmart saying recovered. What do you know about that? Do you have any info on that? Probably not, right?
Somebody sent that to me earlier. Tomorrow I'm going to make a phone call.
Yeah.
Who put up that flyer at the Walmart, North Carolina? Where in North Carolina? What city? Why would you put up a flyer and you know damn well the little boy is still missing? Evildoers. See, this is why I keep trying to explain to people. You may not like the other side of the team. You may think that woman and that husband did something to the boy. You may think that husband's family's involved. They're the ones taking down flyers. But let me tell you something about people, if you don't know. You got people who would do it, and they have nothing invested in the story. People do shit out of spite all the time. Why'd you take that flyer down? Because I could. But why'd you do it? Because I wanted to. But you don't know the kid, so what? Say it again, Queen. Why'd you take that flyer down? Because I wanted to. But why'd you do it? Because I could. Why'd you put that flyer up saying he's missing? Because I felt like it. I'm just a dirty old person. Mean, vindictive bitch. People do evil shit every day, and there's no reasoning behind it. To you. To you. But there's a wacko who doesn't mind taking down flyers, putting up flyers that he's found, stalking people in the story, stalking the petitos or threatening the foundation, whatever the hell they're doing with the petitos. I already know God's got the petitos. That ain't even nothing to be worried about. This is just some messy ass people who don't got nothing better to do. You can assume who you think it is. I'm not going to assume anything. I'm just going to tell you, I know how wicked people are. And wicked people do wicked shit every day. And they don't have to know Seth. They don't have to know the Proudfoots. They did it because they could. That's the kind of world we live in. You see it all the time. Meddling, bumbling idiots who just go out here and meddle and mess and stuff that has nothing to do with them, but they meddle because they can. So you're sitting here trying to figure out, well, who would go all that way to North Carolina, put up a flyer and say those horrible things that he's been recovered? An evil motherfucker, that's who. And they didn't travel to North Carolina. Somebody right there in North Carolina did it. Nobody's going to drive all the way from Tennessee to put up a damn flyer. Say the kids covered. There's somebody there did that. Some evil witch did it out of spite. Probably mad at the world. Probably got a missing kid or a missing sister. They feel like, hell, they ain't looking for my sister, my cousin. Who cares about this kid missing from Tennessee? Big deal. There are people like that. Just keeping it real. You know, I don't sugarcoat nothing over here. Nothing surprises me. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't trust nobody. Just Queen.
And find out why they're putting them as recovered. I don't know if they're just running out of space on the board or what it was. But tomorrow I'll call and I'll let corporate know.
So Tit for Tat says, was Katie's friend Lori and her son Ethan staying with her the night Sebastian went missing?
I have no idea.
See? Gossip. Straight gossip.
I know very little about that.
So
why would you even ask that question? And it don't surprise me who asked the question. They're messy as fuck too. I said that. Who told you that she had company? Nobody. I've never heard of Katie say she had company at her house. Never heard of anybody spent the night. In all their ramblings and storytelling, did you ever hear her say, oh yeah, we had guests over. Somebody was spending the night. He had company. Just gossip. And what did Seth say? I don't know anything about them folks. He don't know anything about the Bower Sox. He don't know nothing about nothing. Because that's the point. He has no reason to ask about those people. He can't tell somebody who could come to somebody's house, who could spend the night, who visit, where the child goes to visit. He's not there. So where did this busy bee get that from? To even ask that question? Let me think. Oh, Queen. Where would a person get an idea like that? Messy. Fucking witches and warlocks. That's all that's out here. Witches and warlocks.
DNA Resin says, Seth, does Sebastian have ambitions, or has he talked to you about what he wants to be when he grows up for his career?
The kid was 15.
Right.
You know, Sebastian
Exactly, Rhonda.
didn't do a lot of thinking about the future
On his own.
when it came down to what he wanted to do. I'd had conversations with him, but he didn't know what he wanted to do yet. He wanted to work with animals and things like that, so part of FFA and everything else was that. So I was looking at more than likely he'd be probably going into something along the lines of working with animals. I mean,
Makes sense, right?
yeah. If you like it, it's not really work. You're getting paid to do something you like.
So here's a great question. This will allow you to elaborate a little bit on some things. But Mustang Mama asked Seth if you talked to Chris McDonough of the Interviewer, which is, as we know, is the Cold Case Foundation.
I have.
So do you want to elaborate on what we're waiting on that or no?
No.
Okay. So there definitely has been conversation.
So he's talked to Chris McDonough. What y'all talking about? Seth. What you talking about with Chris McDonough? Dundonna. Because a lot of you know how I feel about Chris McDonough. I didn't like that meddling with Boy H. Because, as I said, the news never got wind that Boy H was with Summer Wells and her mother and grandmother. Hold on a minute, everybody. He shouldn't have been meddling in that case. Because we're no closer to the truth about Summer Wells than we were 3 years ago. So all that interviewing and talking and drinking Mountain Dew, where are we now with it? Nowhere.
Yep. Maryland. Private conversations.
Right. So Marilyn and Sam wants to know, when is Sebastian's birthday?
Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th.
December 7th, Sebastian Rogers' birthday.
Let's see what we've got here.
It's be December here shortly. 5 months. Jeez, we're 5 months each way.
72 asks what your thoughts are. Do you think that was a garbage truck, or do you think that was something else? We'll just leave it vague like that. What's your thoughts on that, buddy?
Leave it vague.
Thank you, Stillwaters.
Oh, was that an option?
I don't think we think that was a trash truck, do we?
Don't know. I'm not allowed to have an opinion on certain things.
Now, Seth.
I can tell you guys in the audience, I don't think it was a trash truck.
Well, Tony, who do you think it was? What do you think it was? If it wasn't the trash truck, what do you think, Tony? Tony Mathis, what do you think it was? Who do you think it was? Wasn't a drone. Wasn't a cat or dog walking with a flashlight. What was it? And Seth says he's not allowed to have an opinion. He's being cynical. He's got a little queen in him. That's the truth. You can't say anything about anything because everybody knows the answer. I know what it was. I know. Oh, Mr. Carter, Mr. Carter, I know. Mr. Carter, I know I got the answer. Everybody's got the answer to February 25th, 26th. Yet we ain't got no kid. Everybody's got the answer to June 15th, 2021, but we ain't got no summer. Checkmate. Everybody's got the answer, but we ain't got no kids. Oh, I know what was going on. I know, my friend told me. My friend, Marcia told me what happened over there. Well, Marcia, where is Sebastian? Don't get me crunk. It's a good day now. Marcia, where is Sebastian? Hell, where is Summer? Let's go around the ring around the roses. Crazy woman from Hendersonville jumping on panels talking about this and that. And then everything's he said, she said from another person. Oh, I trust her because I know her and she's my friend. Oh, okay. She's my friend. I know she knows the truth. She lives over there or she's on that street, blah, 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 blah. So if your friend knows everything, then where is the little boy? You sitting up here in a car talking in the damn dark to a YouTuber about absolutely nothing. People running around in the dark with cars and this and that. Well, I hope for your sake that's the truth, whatever the hell you just repeated. And they were shuffling around and looked like they were doing this and doing that. Could have been some kids just goofing off. Because even if we want to believe, or you all want to believe, because I'm going to eliminate myself. Somebody was carrying out a child out in the back. You don't think about motion lights coming on in the back of people's houses? I'll let that sit right there. You don't think somebody could be on their back porch smoking a cigarette? Could have had a fight with their lover? They're cooling off back there, and you're back there toting a body. That's what you all are insinuating. Just saying. Lights popping on out of everybody's backyard like a show at the Apollo. Beam lights. Boom, 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 boom. Light. Now there you are on Front Street carrying a body out, alive or deceased. I just want y'all to think about that for just a second. You just assuming you can get out through the yard in the back to a car unseen. Well, I must say if they did it that way, they are very crafty. Just saying. Whew, Lord, people believe any damn thing.
Why Davidson County is either one of the two homes? Let's see.
Well, Seth, tell us what you think about the trash truck. Just tell us what you think. Tony, tell us what you think.
I will tell you, that's a great comment. Looks like CA Girl 818 says, she says, don't tell people who you're interviewing. I think we learned that the hard way today, didn't we?
We did. But I wasn't going to let, the haters know that was the last time they'll find out who it is.
Well,
yeah, we will
that's
not
their
be
sixth
announcing
selves.
who any of the guests are. You'll have to tune in to find
out. Threatening that man.
Looks like
ridiculous.
Pristula asks, what can you do, Seth, with the gaming community to get Sebastian's name out? Did you, does his name come up when you're playing? The gaming community is huge. It's a great question, right?
It is. It's a really good question. The only issue is that he didn't have his own player tag. And how are you going to know who you're talking to?
Right.
It's like, if people wanted to put it out, that'd be great. I mean, if gamers are out there and they want to start talking in chat about my son and get it around so more people will know, I'm 100% for that. Right. I'll play Call of Duty Mobile and, not live, but and I'll talk about my son the whole time that I'm eliminating targets.
So one of our
they'll be complaining about that too.
Real Me, one of our moderators asks, is there anything that we need for the vigil? I mean, I'll answer it first. We just want as many people that are here for the right reasons to show up and support and to donate to the pet shelter, correct?
That is correct. If you have allergies to animals and you're coming out, please take something for it. Otherwise, my goal is just to help out with that place. And then afterwards, go and have the vigil over at Harley Davidson.
Well, they probably need the donations. A lot of places are understaffed and overcrowded with animals.
So Sarah's Suspicions asks, what if anything seemed off when you arrived at the house that day and the following days that you were there with CP and KP? I mean, I think it's okay just to give an opinion if you noticed anything wasn't right. I think you talked about that a little bit on Betty's show.
I did, and I have, and
He's awfully quiet.
My son was missing. He still is. And I was in that house where he's supposed to have been safe. So I was really under a lot of different emotions at that point in time. I noticed a lot of things that are different, that were different, but I prefer not to speak about it because those are things that I've told law enforcement.
Wow. I'm curious.
Whether they do anything with it or not.
Well, they should. They should check it out.
I know I'm willing to try my best.
So Krista, 23.
See, I knew something. I knew he noticed something because he got too quiet. Took him too long to answer. So I'm going to ask. May never get the answer. That's fine. But Pandora's box is open. The panel is open if you want to come up here and share your thoughts on this live stream and also the 5-month mark of this child being missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Seth Rogers, what did you notice from the moment you walked in the door? Anything outside look off? When you walk in, any type of funny smells, odors? How did his room look? Anything out of order? Anything missing? Anything added? New comforter, new bedding. Anything looks like it was cleaned up. Smell of bleach, perhaps. Come on with it, Quay. Cleaning agents, cleaning bottles. How did his bathroom look? Did you look in the shower? Couldn't be Queen. I've been everywhere. They have to put me out of there. Ooh, shit. They have to put Queen out. They'd have to put Queen O-U-T out. Oh, no, you can't go in there. The hell I can't. All right, Lisa, that's fine. What you doing going in that laundry room? Oh, because my child lived here. You don't mind, do you? Hell yeah, I'm going everywhere. Now, I know I couldn't walk up in their bedroom, but baby, I'm walking in the kitchen, looking around. I'm looking at everything. I want to see if everything is in its place. I'm looking at the knife block. I want to make sure all the knives in the knife block. Come on with it, Queen. I'm looking at everything. Because smells can tell you something if you have a sensitive nose. And I do. So when I walk in, I'm smelling everything. I'm looking at the way the furniture's positioned. Looking to see if something's been moved, such as a table. Because table leaves marks if they have carpeting, so you don't know if they got carpeting or hardwood or tile all the way through. Come on with it. Watching everything, looking at everything. What's hanging up on a hanger? What ain't on a hanger? What's in the floor? Laying in the floor? I'm definitely looking at the bed. Was it made? Unmade. See, that's stuff you ain't even hearing. Seth, was his bed made or unmade? Does he normally make up his bed at home? Does he normally make up his bed at your house? Come on with it, Queen. Are his sheets laundered regularly? Once a week, twice a week, every 2 weeks? Anything on the pillowcases? Anything that look like blood or some type of liquid, bodily fluid, perspiration? Pillow out of the pillowcase. Stay woke. Oh, I'm watching it all. Closet door closed, closet door open. I'm opening the closet. I'm looking in. You damn right. I'm pulling stuff off the shelf. I'm looking through everything. I'm opening drawers to look and see what's in there. Any type of note, anything written. I'm running away. I'm tired. I'm fed up. I'm mad. I'm suicidal. I'm looking. I'm looking under the bed. The mattress. Pulling the sheets back. Hercules. You better believe it. Seth, did you do all those things in that boy's room? Naturally, when people are upset, they may not think of everything to do. When I'm watching it out, I'm going to the window. I want to see if I can open that window while I'm in there. Go outside the back. See if I can lift the window. His bedroom was in the front. Let me go outside and see if I can lift the window up. Let me see if something was Jimmy, a screen. Oh, I'm watching it, everything. I'm walking around her house, outside. And who gonna tell me I can't? Nobody. Did somebody leave a ash, cigarette butt outside the window? They was out here talking through the window, anything. I'm looking. I'm going all the way around to see if somebody was smoking a cigarette. Look how many cases they saw where people smoking cigarettes. Because they stood somewhere and smoked, watching, lurking. I'm watching it out. Then I go sit in my car. And I'm going to watch the neighbors. I want to see how people act. I want to see how they behave. Oh, so old said, you'd be surprised what you can see if you just be quiet. You sit and you watch. Let me tell you something. You want to find out something about anything, especially a neighborhood? Sit in your car and watch. You'd be surprised what you learn about people. Lights on, lights off. How late people stay up at night. Who's coming and going. Stay woke. That's exactly what I would have done. I'd park where Katie couldn't have seen my fucking car. I'd have got another car. Not park. Not watch our house. She wouldn't even know I was there. I'm watching every fucking thing you're doing. And hell yeah, your car move, my car move. You going to the Piggly Wiggly? You going to the Dollar General? I'm right there. I want to see what you're doing, what you're buying. I want to see what you took out. Oh, shit. See? You can't get nothing over on Queen. Nothing. No more than what I allow you. I want to see where you're going, what you're buying. And I also want to see if you're dumping any damn thing out your car, SUV. Anybody take something to another trash bin? Oh, shit. See, don't ever think a person going to empty the trash at their house. I can take the trash to another place. Well, we learned that with the Idaho 4, did we not? Walk across the street and empty the trash so they don't get my DNA. Well, it's the same thing with disposing things. Bloody clothes, bloody gloves, soiled linen, soiled undergarments, whatever. Put it in a bag and I take it and I dump it later. Or dumped already before law enforcement comes. They won't. Now, naturally, we don't know if the Proudfoots did anything, but you get where I'm going. You got to have a keen eye when a person goes missing. You got to look for things that a person would not expect you to look for. Because the one thing that has been said about true crime, and let's just say this is for homicide. 50 ways to kill a person. 100 ways to get caught. Checkmate. Is this child alive? The father has hope. And he has that right, that's his child.
3 CRSTA 23 asked, do you know what size of clothes he was wearing?
He was wearing slim. His jeans were 12 slims, and his shirt was, like medium.
Shoe size?
You wore 10.
Wow.
So Jenny K asks you, did Sebastian always tell you, or was it a one-time thing that he didn't want to go back to CP and KP's house?
Very good question, because I've asked this question.
That was the first time that it was you gotta understand, I caught him in his room. I was just walking by when that happened. So he was in his room. And normally if he's in his room, he's normally doing it. And I check on him. And I was getting ready for us to get ready for dinner. And when I walked by, I caught him. And, him hitting the ground. And it was like, what's going on? And he didn't want to talk to me about it.
Right.
So you can't make a teenager talk to you.
So what was he exactly doing? Because somebody's questioning that terminology. What was the child doing for you to suspect something was off? What did he say?
Yeah, I understand. So, CA Girl 818 has another good question. She wants to know, was it strange that Katie had such a huge outing on a school night? Was that normal or was that abnormal?
Yeah, that was going to be my video, next video.
To me, I would say it's abnormal. I mean, when I have him, it's Fridays and Saturdays. Sundays is school night.
Let's talk about that.
When he was at my house, and if I was taking him to school the next morning, down there where, then he'd have to get, bedtime was at 8 o'clock.
Wow, 8 o'clock.
Not to mention, you got to get up earlier, and we need an hour to travel to get you there by the time to pick up.
So he wasn't taking his kid home like most people take their children home on the Sunday. He was taking the child straight to school. Very interesting. I've never heard people doing that. So he put his child to bed at 8. That's early. It's even early for a 15-year-old. 8 o'clock. So I never went to bed at 8 o'clock or 15. But anywho, abnormal for his house to be, I guess, running around on a Sunday with his child, doing a lot of stuff. So now we got to ask Katie Proudfoot. Katie, did you normally take your son out different places on a Sunday? Because it's not to say that people, don't have a right to go out and go places on a Sunday. But depends on how late the parents like to stay out. Because you have people who are night owls, and they even work when they'll still be out late on the night before school, doing stuff with their kids, knowing their children need to be in the bed. So, Katie, do you normally run around on Sundays? Let's ask that. Place to place to place to place to place. And what time did you actually get in your house with your son? Because I don't think that's ever been verified. What time she actually got in her house. And who's going to verify it? Because am I going to believe her? No, I'm not. There's nothing about her that would strike me as truthful, factual. So she's not somebody I would listen to say, oh, yeah, we walked in at 6, 6:37. No. So who can verify what time she got home? And then you can't verify who and what else was in her car, because one, she has a big SUV, and naturally she probably will pull it into the garage, I'm assuming. Don't know. Then you got to ask that question. Does she normally park her car in the garage, or does she park it in the driveway? Or does she park it in front of the driveway? I mean, in front of the garage door. Because everybody parks their cars differently. See, you don't have nothing to verify nothing. Unless somebody has cameras that record it and can say, yes, the car got here at this time and it went into the garage or it pulled up in the driveway. She got out. The boy got out. Don't you find it strange? Ain't nobody that came back and told you nothing like that? Oh, all this chitter chatter at Peyton Place. But can't nobody tell you what time the fucking car got back. You could tell us all about flashing lights and cars and people shuffling around playing Twister, but nobody can tell me what time the damn car got back to the house. You can't tell me if it was parked in the driveway or she pulled into the garage. Why not? Since we got all these damn nosy neighbors that can see futons and sofas and cots and mattresses. Well, tell me what time the damn car got back. All this dicking around.
Get on the bus.
Right.
Whoever did something to my son, I don't care who they are. But my son will have justice, and I don't care who they are. I want them to go to jail. I want them to understand that they did wrong.
Hi, Seth.
What
did he sneak in here?
Find him, and we're going to get justice.
Exactly, Melissa.
So Southern Grammy Wolf
That's
asks,
the point.
Did Sebastian have a good relationship with the extended Proudfoot / Bower Sox family, to your knowledge?
I have no idea.
You don't know.
So Seth, we've been on a little over an hour now. We promised our guests we would keep it close to an hour. Is there any?
Hello, Mr. Rogers. How are you? Praying for you, honey. Praying for you. Well, I didn't want to get real serious in this live stream. Just kind of wanted to play their content, let you all know what was going on over there, Middle Tennessee. A lot of questions. Yeah. I'm in deep thought right now. I'm in deep thought. February 25th, February 26th. What's the actual date? $5 months. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Talk to the queen. Somebody. We've been on almost 2 hours. You all just let the queen sit up here and talk. While I've let this audio play. For those of you who didn't tune into his live stream. Give me your thoughts. What do you mean am I live now? Yeah, it's already 5 months for Queen. I'm an hour ahead of Seth. It's Eastern Standard Time here. 25th or 26th, which is it? Because I want to know. Which is it? What day? Oh, this is depressing to me. I've been trying to detach myself from YouTube. I can't get away from it. It's like I can't explain it. I'm just sick of the stories. I'm just sick of all the mischief I see going on in the world. Just, every day is something. Especially when it's pertaining to children, because there should be no need in these stories about missing children. We had a baby missing. What was it? Yesterday here in Tennessee. Biracial baby. She's found safe. Thank you, Jesus. Stupid mother went against the parental exchange. I don't know how she got the baby, but she got the little girl out of the person's house, or I don't know how she did it. We don't have all the details. But they found the baby in Lebanon. She took her from Kingsport. She took her a little ways because Lebanon is down the road. But amen, the baby's safe. She's now in custody. Now you probably will never get the rights to your child again. So I don't know who had the child, mama, daddy, whoever. Somebody trusted the bat to be around the kid. But every day there's a story about missing children. February 26th. Why you say the 26th, Seth? I don't know still. How can he have you blocked and you're in my chat? Yeah, she's safe. Well, your ass is out of here. You don't come over here disrespecting nobody in my chat. I don't play that shit. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. How the chat has been going smoothly. Then it takes one person to come in and be disrespectful. I done told you all. I've had enough of the BS. And it's not going on over here. You take that somewhere else. I've had enough. So many children are missing. Where are these children? Hell, missing adults. That's even worse. I know 2 grown people right now currently missing from my area. Nobody knows anything. But I know somebody knows something. This is bizarre. Well, they're not doing it over here. Because he's a guest over here. Whether you like me, you don't like me, then you go somewhere. You don't like him, then you go somewhere. You don't come over here disrespecting my channel. That's what kills me about all these people. Nobody has any respect. Because that's something I don't do. Somebody's going live. If I don't like them, I don't go in their chat. I don't go in their chat and comment, and I don't comment on their videos. Any other type of news video or something, yeah, I might get my comment on something. But as far as a YouTuber, if I don't fuck with them, I don't comment. See, they haven't learned that etiquette. I don't get down like that. Well, nobody vanishes out of thin air, Laura. You know that. Melissa, where have you been? You just vanished out of thin air yourself. What's going on with you? Where is this child? Somebody knows where he is. What do they say? Unburden yourself. Just tell us where he is. Put an end to this. You've been taking a little break, girl. I don't want to hear that. From what, girl? Life? What you taking a break from, Melissa? Well, Melissa, you could text somebody back, let them know you're alive. Too much funny stuff going on in the world. If you don't respond, a person don't know if you're alive, dead, mad, happy, sad. They don't know. They don't know. That's why I was trying to tell people, you should stay in contact with people. If you don't feel like talking, you tell a person, well, I don't feel like talking. I don't feel good. I'm sick. My head hurts. My butt hurts. Whatever. Hit the link. I say this because people are going missing. This is why you should stay in contact with people. I get it. People get mad, get frustrated. Some days you don't want to be bothered with people. You don't want to talk. Okay, cool. But what people don't understand is when you fall your ass off to the wrong ones, if something happens to you, don't nobody know anything because you stop talking to people. You stop calling. You quit texting. You don't answer the phone. Now, new people, I get it. I got a story for you all later today. I've got so much content to bring Friday, and I don't even think I'm having enough time to bring every topic, but I've got a doozy for you about a young girl and a date site. Now, this story is wicked. All I'm telling you all is stay in contact with people. Even if you don't want to talk on the phone, just text them back and say you don't want to be bothered. That's all you got to do.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, God. I've been better.
What's going on?
Oh, sorry. No, so, yeah, just got a lot of moving and packing and stuff going on. So I've just been taking a little break.
Now, Melissa, where you stay?
What?
Where do you live?
I'm in Minnesota.
Okay, you somebody else. I'm thinking of somebody else. I was all these damn Melissas, they running in together. Thought you was this other Melissa. Because I was looking like, don't look like her picture. Okay, so Melissa, what do you have to say about this information that's been revealed in this live?
Well, it seems like Seth is really down. And it seemed like Tony was kind of being the boss, you know, kind of Tim Mullen-ish, you know.
Well, that's who he deals with. So that's the one thing people need to understand. You don't have to like either person, but he deals with him. So, you know, my thing is, let me tell you where I'm at right now. I am no longer dwelling on anything. You understand what I'm saying? That's the mental space I'm in. Pertaining to YouTube, pertaining to the people in the stories, pertaining to my own self. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
You have to say, I'm not going to dwell any longer on anything.
I kind of understand that.
Yeah, because in the end, we all have our tastes and likes and preferences about people in these stories. But at some point, you can just beat a dead horse down, and the horse is dead. How much beating can it? You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Kind of like with Summer's case, you know.
It's all the same. Yeah, I did that with her case. I can honestly say, about wintertime, I was done with anything pertaining to the case. Not her, but the people who had immersed themselves in the case.
Correct.
Including the parents, all of that. I was done with
and the
that.
YouTubers. The YouTubers made it so
all of it.
difficult and dramatic.
But I didn't engage.
Yeah, and the gossip and oh my God, and this said this.
There comes a point where you have to stop and shut it down. So that's what I did. I shut it down. I said, I no longer want to participate. And then when I started seeing other people who I was affiliated with, they riding a donkey ride with the bullshit down here. I don't want to have anything to do with you. Now that certain person, he's a YouTuber, and I'm looking at him like, damn, you were with that shit. And then a lot of people thought it was okay. Well, Queen, you know, I think it's okay, you know, to go to the job and da-da-da-da-da. I said, how are you okay with that? That's how people get hurt. A lot of people seriously live in a bubble. You're not realistic. That's how people get fucked up.
Yeah, right.
I don't have to like the whales. I don't have to like the Proudfoots. It could be out there. If I wanted to like Seth or don't like Seth, I'm not going to their job.
No.
I'm not going to nobody.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's my point. I'm not going to nobody's fucking job. And there's people who were down with that. And I keep trying to tell people, you down with that? You standing from the sidelines behind your phone and your computer, you know, whoo, hooray. But if somebody had done it to you, you would flip your wig. Somebody did it to your brother, your sister. Somebody's accusing your brother of doing something to a kid or whatever. And you found out a bitch went to his job, whatever, you be ready to go the fuck off. So I keep telling people, why does you all need to put the shoes on to see there's just certain things you should not be doing. I'm not with all that nonsense.
Yeah, I kind of learned my lesson. you know, with the whole summer thing. Not to go there, but now this case with Sebastian.
What you mean by go there? Explain what you mean.
I don't mean to like go to that case and compare it, but it kind of is a lot like Summer's case.
They are similar.
They are similar. I believe, in my opinion, but I mean, I'm nobody. I feel like Katie knows something, just like I feel like Candace and Grandis and Don and Chris. I just feel that they know something, and I feel bad for Seth. And Seth doesn't seem he didn't seem engaging on that live that you played. He wasn't Seth. Usually he has a lot more to say. He didn't have oomph. I mean, not oomph. That doesn't sound right. What's the word I'm looking for?
More engaging.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way I can put it.
Well,
it just seemed he was very. There was a lot of
Listen. I think he was looking probably at the chat, which that's why Tony was telling him don't look at it. And I told people that when they come up on the panel, don't look at the chat because you can't focus
and I don't.
on what people are talking about if you're looking at the chat. So possibly he was still looking at the chat, trying to look at the people's questions and the comments.
Okay. See, when I'm on a live with you, I don't ever have chat on. I want to hear what you and I are talking about.
Yeah. Well, you can't focus because I've had people do it on the panel. And to me, I'm going to keep it real. It's rude. Because you can't be up on a panel talking and then you get mad or you want to question what they're saying in the chat. So now you done jumped off the subject of what we're talking about or what somebody else is talking about to address somebody in the chat. And so imagine you got 3 or 4 people on a panel and everybody starts talking over each other and talking about what people saying in the chat. You got 15 conversations going all at one time. That's not cohesive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to just tell you that when he got really quiet with certain stuff, I felt really, really bad for him because the questions of some of it was really nosy and it was none of their business or any of our business.
Mm-hmm.
What they were saying in this chat quote from Tony, I mean, you might be right. Maybe he was reading the chat, but it just didn't seem like Seth to me. And that's just my opinion.
Okay. So
and I felt bad.
So what are you trying to say? Somebody in the chat saying he seems defeated. Is that what you're trying to say or no? I won't
saying what?
Does he seem defeated to you? What are you trying to say?
No. It just seemed like he was just quiet. I mean, there was spaces between a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing right. This is what I'm. Yeah, go ahead.
One of the questions, he got quiet on because he didn't want to say. He didn't want to give his opinion.
Now, why would that be?
Because there's certain things that you can't say, as you see how things turn out, Melissa.
Oh, dear. Well,
look at how the people act.
Yeah, that's true.
As he said, I can't have an opinion.
Well, that's
a terrible way. And that's a terrible way to feel in the world. You can't say anything to anybody, or you can't say nothing about nothing. Everything's critique. This is why a lot of people don't talk to the news. We can judge people and say, "Why she ain't talking to the news? Why ain't talking to the news?" For this very reason. Because they dissect everything you say, chop it up and spit it back out. You damned if you do, you damned if you don't. If you talk, you're talking too much. If you talk with the spaces, they're being avoided, they're lying. Then you're talking too much. What he's saying is this. Have you noticed everybody got something to say about what Sefton said? It's inappropriate. It's this, it's that. Well, at first y'all were complaining because he wasn't saying nothing. Remember? Let's go back. Let's go back to when it was cold outside. He ain't saying nothing.
Why haven't we heard from his dad? Where's Sebastian's dad?
Exactly.
I remember.
Uh-huh.
I remember. Everything was Chris,
Then when he
a
popped
little
out,
bit of Katie.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So then he popped off. Then it was like, oh, I feel better when he did, when he got a little jiggy on court TV. Because I was even saying, glad to hear something. But then it went from, and then it went, so then once he got jiggy on court TV, all hell broke loose. When it started
because he was too aggressive.
the phone,
Yeah.
I think where it went downhill was all that shit with the phone and the PIs and all that. That's when it went downhill. And then they started talking about their experiences. So then that put Seth in a different light with some people like, well, what's going on with him? Did he do this? Did he say this? See, when you start throwing stuff out, all it takes is for the right people to get a hold of it. Then they put their spin on it.
There's always somebody like that, isn't there?
So it could be, it was a sour joke, a sour comment, could have been a provocative comment. Well,
and it ends up being an explosion, right?
So now everybody starts feeding. Well, what did he say? What did he do? And then she's got to try to clean it up. Well, it wasn't really nothing. Da, 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 da. And then somebody else going to say, oh, yeah, it must have been bad. She just don't want to tell the truth. Could be. I don't know because I wasn't there. I don't know. But it went downhill fast.
Right.
It went downhill really quick.
So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So you can't stay on YouTube and you can't stay off YouTube because either way you look suspicious in some kind of person's life.
But I don't.
And it gets twisted.
But I don't recommend anybody coming to YouTube. That's just me personally.
Oh, I wouldn't if it was my.
I'm up here, and I want to talk to people so people can get a raw feed of what people are going through. But it turns into a circus when you come to YouTube. That's the bad downside of coming to YouTube. And then when you start hopping from panel to panel, that's your mistake right there. You got to vet these people. The vetting process for YouTube is real. Now you may not be able to vet no damn searcher. Okay, but the YouTube, you need to be watching the people's content to decide if this is even somebody I want to sit up here and talk on their panel.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just let somebody get in their inbox and say, hey, I'm a YouTuber. I want to talk to you about your son, your daughter. And then you ain't looked at none of their videos and how they talk, how they act. Because I've seen some shit here recently. And I'll say it on this live stream. I ain't sending nobody over to nobody's channel network ever. Hell no.
Oh, dear.
Not after what I saw a couple weeks ago.
What did you say? Because I haven't been on for a long time.
It don't got nothing to do with Seth. It don't got nothing to do with Seth.
Okay.
Something else. Okay. But once I saw it, I thought, you can't come over here and don't talk to me about nothing. And I ain't talking about you. Because this is what I'm saying. You don't know people. That's why you have to be careful letting people come up on the panel. You got to be careful letting other YouTubers come up on the panel. You don't know these people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna be promoting nothing that's just jacked up, derogatory, foul. Because I'm telling you, something I saw weeks ago would make your hair stand up on top of your head. I was like, oh hell no, we ain't Queen on rock like that.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, pure filth. No.
Really?
You stay in your lane, I'll stay in mine. Don't come back over here. Don't come over here. Don't message. We good. Hell no. No. You have to, my thing is about life is you have to draw the line somewhere. And I've done that. And I'm at peace. I'm at peace at every decision I've made recently. And I ain't looking back and I don't feel bad about nothing.
No, that's a good thing. And you know what's funny is I was going to tell you too, I've learned a lot from you.
Uh-huh.
And I want to say thanks.
You're welcome. So, well, you don't go ask, what did you learn from Queen?
Well, to keep my mouth and my typing shut and my ears and my eyes open.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everything's a learning process. Because I said to myself yesterday, I'm going to quit responding to these articles. You know how the news break has the articles of the latest events? I told myself, you know what? Don't fall prey to that nonsense because it's nonsense. You read, Pookie got shot on 15th Street. Then you go look at the comments and then you start seeing something you don't like, right? So then you respond. Then I tell myself, you're falling into the trap. It's a trap. Just like
a little rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole, just like this YouTube stuff. All the commenting. People cussing each other out, going off over stupid stuff they don't know nothing about. Y'all got that. There comes a point where you have to tell yourself, you know what? I think I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, I just learned that the last couple weeks.
Yeah, sometimes it's best just don't say nothing. That's why I keep trying to tell people. Getting upset and all riled up over an article and what people saying in the comment section. Why do you feel the need you have to respond? That's what I don't get. Because I said it. I don't go on other people's channels commenting in their comment boxes. I don't go in their live chats commenting. For what? For what? That's the thing I don't understand about people who feel like they got to comment. It's like, what is itching you so bad that you got to be in that chat commenting? You don't like what they're saying? You don't like what the host is saying? Then turn the video off.
Then turn it off and go somewhere else.
Exactly. Go read a book.
You don't need to be negative in somebody else's chat or live.
I don't do it.
And make any kind of nasty comments.
But
that's not necessary.
But they can't help themselves. I've never seen anything like it. Got the control and go on. I'll be like, man, you all are miserable.
Yeah, some people are.
And the commenters don't even think they're miserable. Well, I can't. It's free speech. I can say what I want to a degree. Yes,
there we go.
You got to know that, okay, you done said enough. Let it go. They're just going to keep going on and on and on, writing in all caps, screaming and hollering like you losing your damn mind. It's not that serious.
I mean, I do make little comments in your chat, but, you know, I'm not trying to, like, yell at you or anything. I'm trying to make you understand that I'm listening. I get what you're saying, and I appreciate what you're saying.
But I'm saying right now, if you would have turned me off and you went and saw a video and you started listening to the person talking and you don't really care for what they're saying, do you have to comment? That's what I'm saying.
No, I leave.
That's what I'm saying.
I leave.
Okay, it's my point.
You know what's funny is somebody had that tonight, actually. I was on a live with somebody, and these people were just making these, like, snarky comments at first, and then it got really rude. And they're like, oh, fine, I'm just going to leave. And it's like, why do you have to tell people that you're leaving? Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you know how many times I see that in the chat? Let me tell you something. They get mad if you don't address them. They get mad if you don't respond to their question or comment.
Oh, I've noticed that.
I see that all the time. Well, I'm leaving since ain't nobody addressing me. You can't get mad because somebody didn't identify you in the chat. So what? So what? You taking it personal? For what?
Yep. And I did that for a couple of years ago. I actually did feel like it was like, well, you're not going to say anything. I'm here and I'm a member and I pay you every month and I send you super chats. This was a few years ago when I was first into YouTube,
how many people were in the chat at the time when you were commenting?
And they were like saying hi, and then they'd say hi to that person. They'd skip over me. And I was like, what the F? Well, come on. I got over that. Like, it's not personal. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they skip over people. They say hi to somebody, and then later on they'll say, oh, so-and-so or whatever. It's like, this was a few years ago, like I said. And
well, I did it the other day. I went back after giving my commentary and addressed everybody. I pulled everybody's name down to say hello because I didn't want anybody to think I was ignoring them. But if I'm reading stuff from like an article, I can't address you. I can't address 50, 60 people and read at the same time. That's kind of impossible.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So imagine somebody with a big following and they got 3,000 people in the chat. There's no way they can read stuff and address 3,000 people. So that's why people need to not get offended. Because if they're reading something, they can't address people in the chat and read and play audio, all that stuff. I mean, you know, come on.
Yes.
But I understand when you feel like, okay, it ain't but 5 of us in here and you didn't say something. And they're just reading straight names down. Then I can see, okay, maybe a person feeling, you know, offended.
Mm-hmm. I know, it's so silly. But this was a few years ago, like I said. So now I get YouTube. It's like, you know what? You're going to go in, you're going to say hi. and you're just gonna, try and be positive during the live. Say little comments here and there. Oh my God, did they say what? But don't take anything personal if you can't.
That's what everybody needs to work on. It's not taking the stuff personal and letting that shit roll off your back. All the snidness, the disagreeing. I just say if you can't handle it or you feel like, okay, I'm too opinionated, then just check out, go find something.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah, just watch something else. You don't have to feel the need that you have to comment or flip out or wig out in the chat or something like that. But a lot of people just ain't learned it yet. And like I said, life is a work in progress, But let's talk about some of the things that's been said. Tony mentioned the dump truck. He has an opinion about that, but he didn't mention it. Seth made it appear he ain't gonna give his opinion because it seems like he can't never say anything. So do you think Seth believed that was a dump truck that morning or whatever?
Wait a second. A dump truck or a garbage truck?
It's the same thing. Garbage truck.
Does Seth think it was?
Yeah, do you think he thinks it was or he don't? Because he wouldn't give his comment about it during the live.
Oh, God. Are we still on this?
Well, somebody asked that question in the chat.
Oh, why would they ask it if he did it months ago?
Okay.
Oh, God.
Hasn't this kind of stuff from the past?
Look.
They talked about the garbage can. No, listen. Somebody asked about, did he believe that was his child going to the garbage can? He said he hoped it is, so that way they have a timeline. They went back.
Okay.
They just asked questions to his best of his ability.
Did Seth get quiet during that question or no?
He didn't answer. He answered about the child going to the trash, that he hoped it was him. But the dump truck question, he just said he wasn't going to give his opinion.
He hoped it was him, but he didn't have an opinion about.
Yeah, but he didn't answer the dump truck question.
Didn't he say that he went and he watched this video and that it was a trash truck? Didn't he say that when he went to the police station?
I thought it was either he said it was or it wasn't.
No, he said it was. Allegedly, he said it was. So
I just remember him making it seem like it was a subject that was already proven, whatever it was. Well, let me ask you: do you believe that was a truck, the lights that they were showing on the news?
No.
Or what do you think it was?
Flashlights.
So somebody was in the backyard with flashlights doing what?
Yep. I don't know. Honestly, okay. I look, I've already said this before. Katie and Chris, I believe, or Katie and that neighbor that she was allegedly having a fling with.
Oh my God, really, Melissa?
But I don't know if that's true.
Where'd you get that from, Melissa?
She was having a fling with the neighbor. This was back in the beginning of the story.
I never heard that.
Oh, yes. See, yes. But that's been debunked, right? Because she said it's not true. Well, I don't even know what freaking live I was on.
Slow down. Melissa, you're moving too fast. Who debunked it, Melissa?
The person on the live said that Katie did not have an affair. Or was it the neighbor?
I'm going to say it again. Who debunked the rumor, Melissa?
Well, nobody, as far as I'm concerned.
That's my point.
I'm getting snarky. I gotta shut up.
No, but anyway, I'm just saying, who can't nobody debunk it, but either Katie or the person that allegedly the affair is with.
No, it wasn't either one of them.
Of course it wasn't. So that's my point. Can't nobody debunk it then. And then
that's what I said. It really didn't get debunked. It was just somebody in the live.
So no. We're going to go on the Belly of the Beast. You brought it up. Who brought the rumor out?
Oh, my God. I don't want to say who it was, but it was
a YouTuber?
Yes, it was a YouTuber. It was way back in February.
Let it go. That's somebody real bored.
Anywho,
No, I'm just
anywho,
speaking my opinion. It's somebody really bored. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Because anybody
yep.
could just pick up that one of them was having an affair. Come on.
I don't know. It just looks like somebody who's in the backyard with flashlight. I don't know if this is true. This is just what I think. Flashlights. It looks like. I don't know if it was Katie or Sebastian or both, or it just looks like flashlights. I don't know who it is. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're getting rid of Sebastian. I don't know if Sebastian was there, if he was alive, if he was not. I don't know. It doesn't look like a bloody garbage can or garbage truck. Does it? In your opinion?
I don't have an opinion.
Well, what?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Why do I have to give you my opinion, but you don't have one?
Y'all forget one thing. My name is on this channel. I don't have to give my opinion about a damn thing. Let me take you all back to the days of Oprah Winfrey, Phil Donahue. They didn't explain themselves when they did a talk show. I think people need to go back to the old ways of etiquette. If they want to give their opinion, they will. But I don't have to give my opinion.
I look like a total jerk on your live right now in front of all your friends.
But how do you look like a total jerk? I'm asking you a question and you giving your opinion. That don't mean Angela has to give her opinion. I'm just asking you a question. We're talking about the lights in the dump truck. You could have just said, "Well, Queen, I don't want to answer that question," and I would have said, "Okay." Damn.
Now you tell me.
I ain't got to answer a damn thing up here. That's the purpose of you being a guest.
Oh, great. No, right? Seth really hates me, doesn't he?
I don't know.
Wow.
So you go to, basically, you say you think them folks did something to the child?
Oh, I'm not going to answer that.
Oh, question. Now you quiet. Ain't this something? Oh, wow.
No comment.
So you want to do tit for tat up here?
No, I do think that Katie knows something, and I think that Candace knows something, and we've already gone through that. And
so
that's
he talked about the child. We're going to jump off of it then. He talked about the child not wanting to go home. He passed his room and passed it.
That's
trying to get a little understanding of, let me finish. I'm trying to get an understanding of really what he was saying there. So what I wanted to know, and I've asked this question before, I never got an answer from Seth, of course. I want to know, did he go to Katie and say, "Hey, I want to talk to you. My son said he didn't want to come home. Why would he not want to come home?" That's what I want to hear. Did he ever approach Katie about it?
I don't think so. Sebastian wanted to be there because of Chris.
Well, we could guess 1,000 reasons why he don't want to be there. I'm saying, why didn't he go to the mother and say something to her? That's what I've been questioning since he made comment about it a while ago. Did he go to Katie and say, "Hey, I need to talk to you. My son don't want to come home. Why would he not want to come home? What's going on here?" I would have asked. Because I want to get to I don't want to send my child back nowhere that they don't want to be. But like I said, everybody's different. And I haven't heard Seth say that he told Katie. That's what I've been waiting to hear him say. "Oh, yeah, by the way, I did talk to Katie about it. And she said this, this, and this." Well, Seth hasn't done that. So I'm just assuming he never said anything to her.
Or Seth is saying that he don't have to talk to her.
He don't have to.
Well, I mean, it's been five months. Why wouldn't he just come out and say that by now?
Yeah, well,
that doesn't make sense.
So that's what I'm saying.
That doesn't make sense.
He's mentioned it before, but he's never said, "Oh yeah, I went and talked to Katie about it. This was her response." So I think if he didn't, that would have to be weighing on him. "Oh, I wish I had went and said something to her about what's wrong with my child. Why my child don't want to go home." Because I done already talked about that earlier. Queen would have been on that. It'd have been a round table. Did you hear me? Listen, I'm calling everybody out.
Oh, I know.
We all gonna be together when I discuss it. My child gonna be right there too. What's going on here? And I'm listening intently to hear what everybody got to say. Because I want to know. Because what they say, a closed mouth don't get fed. Exactly. I'm sure there are a lot of things that Seth probably regrets when it comes to, dealing with his child and dealing with these people. But that's the thing. You can't go back. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Can't go back.
And I like the way that you said that you would go through the whole house room.
I'm going
area.
in like Inspector Gadget. Did you hear me?
I really like that
Hell
you said
yeah,
that.
what she gonna tell me? What was Katie gonna tell me? And I'm the man. Nothing. I think she can tell me it's don't go in her bedroom. No, you can't go in there. Okay, cool. But guess what? I'm under that bed. I'm flipping that bed over. I'm flipping mattresses. I'm flipping box springs. I'm pushing that bad boy up against the wall. I'm in the window. I'm looking around the window sill, the carpet. I want to see if anything's been torn. I want to see if the carpet been replaced. I want to see if the carpet's wet. I don't play. I don't play that. Now, I don't know if he did all that. We haven't heard it. He said, hey, I went from, A to Z in his room. But I'm looking at everything. If he got the cabinet doors in the bathroom, I'm opening them. I'm looking to see what's in there. I'm looking in the tub. Hell, I might even stick my damn hand down the damn tub drain. Hell yeah. Because let me tell you something. If it's foul play, you forget stuff.
Well, can I ask you a question? I thought of that. Was that from Seth going into the house after Sebastian went missing? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, when she called.
Did Seth go? What?
When she called to tell him the child was missing that morning.
Okay. Yeah, I would have been all over that freaking house.
Yeah, I'm going everywhere. I'm going all over.
Come on. I'd be checking the window screen. I'd be checking the blind. I mean, seriously, like what you said, I would have done the same thing. But I'm not trying to bash him at all. I don't know if he even thought about it. I mean, he might have thought maybe he ran away for a night. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't super suspicious. Does that make sense?
I'm trying to see where you're going here.
Maybe he wasn't really suspicious of anything of foul play
at first
when he showed up at the house that day. Well, maybe he wasn't in that hyper mode that I would have been in.
But just listen. He said during this live, he was asked, did he notice anything out of place or strange, whatever? He said he won't say, but he's informed law enforcement. So that means he did notice something that he didn't think was right.
Well, I didn't hear that. What?
I'm trying to tell you.
Oh my God. Okay. Wow. I have really missed a lot.
Well, that's the lie he did just some hours ago.
Okay, yeah. I missed part of it because I had to take care of something, but okay. Yeah. Interesting.
So that's why I asked, I wonder what it is that he saw that piqued his interest that didn't look right, smell right, sound right. I'd like him to say, but he's not. And I can understand, you got to keep.
Did he go to law enforcement with it?
Tell everything. Say what?
Did he tell law enforcement?
He said he did. So you ain't listening.
Well, if he told law enforcement, then what are we asking for? It's none of our business. Messy boots, right?
People are going to ask him this because he said it. Oh my God! Really, girl?
We are so messy sometimes.
Well,
because some of us
being messy. I don't think it's being messy. It's just up to him to say, I prefer not to tell you. He said he don't want to tell it. So we can't get blood from a tire.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, he don't want. Well, if that's the case, why ask him anything? Think about it. Why ask
Then
him?
Why are you on YouTube?
Who are you talking to?
Why are you on YouTube if you can't explain the whole thing? No, not you, silly. No, Seth and Tony.
You're not listening. Listen. The shit is already murky, Melissa. there's certain things he probably has not told us that he don't want to. Because that's the thing about life. There's always something that you do not know that the person has yet to tell. Because a lot of things, as they say, people like to keep to the vest, like the police, they don't tell everything. So there probably a lot of things about Katie he ain't told. There's probably some shit about Chris he ain't told. Now, naturally, in the beginning, it seemed like he didn't really know much of anything. So I don't know if he just don't want to tell everything or he don't really know anything. I don't know because I don't know him. But he did say he knows something about at that house. He did say that. He's not telling us. So now I'm wondering what the hell it is. I sure want to know.
Oh dear. Not another rabbit hole.
Shit, Katie would have hated me because I've been in that bitch. I've been on her sofa. She couldn't wait to get me out of her house. When are you leaving, Seth? I ain't.
I'm sorry.
I've been listen. You know about the right? It's stupid. I've been walking around her house with a robe on. I've been walking around that house with a robe, fuzzy slippers, and everything. You know what I'm saying?
That woman,
Christopher Proudfoot would have been a sick bitch because he'd have been like, "This motherfucker ain't left yet. I ain't told me. Can you tell me where the fuck my son is?"
Exactly.
You know exactly. I ain't no baby.
No,
I'm that black woman you don't want to fuck with. I'd walk around that motherfucker with a robe and slippers. I'm at sitting at the table with a newspaper, drinking out your coffee mug, eating your Doritos. Now say something smart. Let me tell you something. People don't really realize that you can really fuck with a person if you get inside their head. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I know all about that.
Okay, so that's my point. When you get inside of a person's head, you got them right where you want them.
Yeah, my ex-husband did that.
I've been in there with luggage. She'd say, "Where you going with that suitcase?" In my son's room. You going where? In my son's room. I'm gonna spend the night. Why? What? She's been out of breath. What you mean? I'm spending the night. Ain't our son missing? Well, wait. I gotta go talk to Chris. You ain't gotta talk to Chris about nothing. It's my son. What you gotta talk to him about? What you gotta talk about? So you can play mind games because I always tell people, you want to see what people are really about. Say some shit to get a reaction out of them. See where I'm going? You say shit to get a reaction out of them. I don't want to know with a duffel bag. And then she would have said, "Well, where you going with that bag?" I said, "In my son's room." For what? I'm spending the night. Well, wait a minute. We need to. She would have been out of breath. What? I don't understand. What you mean you don't understand? You understand what? Our child is missing. You don't understand why I'm here? There's ways of getting information. But see, people ain't thinking like that. See, I'm always on robot mode. That's my damn problem. Oh, I'd had her all messed up. I'd fuck with Katie and Chris so tough, they would, yes. They've been through with me day one because they've been like, "We can't get rid of him, you damn Skippy. If I got to sit outside in your car, in my car, and I'm out there with sandwiches from Subway, a blanket, a pillow, where I'm going, you won't leave. Why won't he leave? And then guess what's going to happen? The neighbors going to start talking. Why is that man out there sleeping in his car? Oh my God, something's not right. Why don't they invite him in? See where I'm going now?
What is going on up there?
But you get what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Well, now we got the neighbors talking. Oh my God, they got that poor man sleeping in his car and his son is missing. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Exactly.
You are so fucking smart. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. Sorry.
But you gotta know how to beat the devil. You got to know how to put everything to the side and say, my main priority is to find my son, and I will do everything I can in my powers to find out where he went. And if that means I have to rock the boat a little bit, then I rock it. So that's what I would have done. I'd have hung around like a really, really bad smelly sock. You understand?
Mm-hmm. 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 It's funny because I was using packing tape and you can just see fingerprints all over that, you know.
Mhm.
I'm like, packing tape. That's something I would have used.
Well, see,
Like on the
he was just smart.
windowsill
But you know,
and
he
on the
was.
doorknob.
But nobody probably would think about no tape right when you get the phone call that your child is missing. You just like, oh, I gotta hurry.
No,
get up.
after the fact, I would have tried to do something like lift prints or lift DNA or lift hair or lift blood. I mean, I am like you were saying, so it made me laugh so hard because I would have tried to think of the same stuff that you were talking about. If it was my son.
I'd walk that street. I knocked on everybody's door. I left my number on a piece of paper. I would walk them. You call me directly. You don't need to call her. I'm the daddy. You call me. You see anything? You hear anything? You get wind of something? Call me. I'm going to the schoolhouse. I'm doing the same thing. Here's my phone number. Call me directly. You remember anything? You see anything? Anything comes to your mind? If you hear chitter chatter from the children, call me.
You guys got cameras? Do you have Ring doorbells? Yeah. I would have been asking the same questions in that whole area. Just me.
And I'm definitely going to the houses directly across the street to see if they.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. Did you see the car come home? Did you notice what time she left?
What time was it? Yeah. Did she go in the garage?
I'm asking. That's what I asked.
Was Sebastian in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing with the neighbor was just bizarre to me.
Hey, give me a call. You see anybody moving anything out? Bed, furniture, a rocking chair, anything, call me.
Oh, God.
Take a picture.
Oh, the mattress situation made me think of summer right away, and I just got sick. What do you mean you have a new mattress delivered from your sister? What? Because that mattress thing made me think of summer with the outside of the basement door, you know?
Well, nothing would shock me with them either because they didn't live right, so that wouldn't shock me no about a mattress outside.
No, but then Chris said that he got a new mattress from his sister. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to puke. Oh no. Not another bed.
The thing is, nobody asked him where did he take the mattress to. So you're supposed to ask.
Correct. Never did.
What room did you take
that we've heard anyway.
Yeah.
That us people have heard.
If somebody is going to tell me on a panel that they got a mattress, I'm going to ask you, well, where did you put it? You got 3 or 4 bedrooms, so I would ask, well, which bedroom did you put it in? So it is ironic you get a mattress around the time that a little boy goes missing.
Correct.
So people gonna be suspicious. That's just common sense.
Correct. Yep. And Nancy Grace is the one that brought it up too. You know, of course, Chris. No, ma'am.
It's just all of it's crazy. It's a sad situation. Well, he talked about searches on the water. He also talked about having a prayer vigil and working with the animal shelter. People donate money, which I think is a wonderful thing. And then also,
I think so.
The Harley Davidson place, I guess they'll meet up there, have a prayer vigil. I think that's really nice. And the first thing I thought when he was saying that earlier, when I listened to it, I said, somebody complained about that because they complained the last time about the bike ride. I thought, you people are just never satisfied. Why can't you just take a damn good moment and just shut up? Just shut up. You're not contributing anything to him or finding the kid. Just shut up.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that happened last time with Chris going up there to the school. When I heard about that, I thought, why would you be up here bothering this man? And he's up here having a prayer vigil for his son. You and your wife should be up here instead of you coming back up there. You coming back and forth bothering him. That's because your conscience is whooping your ass. That makes no sense. You're not at the vigil, but you're going to keep running back and forth saying stuff to Seth. You just told on yourself and you don't even know it. Again. How many times you going to keep telling on yourself? Because you're acting like you know something. Why are you worried about a prayer vigil that you ain't at? Think about that.
Correct. Correct.
The way it looks is the way it sounds. Well, it don't matter. If you Google vigil, it means to keep watch. Because you're so slow and you have a 3rd grade education. doesn't have to mean death. A prayer vigil.
No.
That's why it's called prayer vigil. Most people don't pray for the dead, do they?
I thought it was to pray for positivity and they'll be
That's what a
found
vigil is. You
eventually.
go to pray for the safe return of the person.
Yes.
Nobody's dead.
Yes.
Even if people think that, you're still going there to pray.
Oh, that drives me nuts. It doesn't always mean the negative, you know.
But it's going to mean that to you because you're not helping and you probably know more about the child. So
Katie and Chris haven't said anything at all lately.
I haven't heard
They're not involved in the vigil.
I haven't gone looking for Pookie and Snooky.
Jeez.
I have not. I have not gone looking for Bubba and Susie Mae.
Okay. Well, damn, if that was my kid, I'd be at the vigil. I'd be
they don't care.
Doing the Harley ride. And
why would you not go to any vigil?
I don't understand. I mean, how could you not be involved?
Because you don't care. I don't look for something I lost intentionally. Harsh words, but it's the truth.
This is so frustrating.
How many times have we seen this happen in a storyline and how it ended when they got a resolution? When people start checking out of a story that they're supposed to be involved in and have a common link, it's usually nefarious. It's why they checked out, correct? Majority of the times, anyway.
Yes.
Because that's your son.
Man, if I was Katie and I didn't have anything to do with it, I'll tell you what, I'd be a lot different.
You need to talk to her. She might be related to Gypsy Rose. What the hell? Let me shut up.
What?
Nothing.
Oh. Like what? About Gypsy Rose?
Yeah.
Is she a relative?
That's what I said.
Oh God!
We losing children, dogs, all kind of shit.
That girl is nuts.
Yeah, that's my life. I gotta. Oh, that's gonna be a powerhouse live when I get.
Oh, I feel bad for Ryan, man. Or do I? Do I feel bad for Ryan? Kinda.
He'll get tired. But he's stuck in a bad situation now because the news I've just found out is real fucked up.
What? What'd you find out?
6 months.
Just tell.
6 months.
6 months what?
Her baby will be here by the time he can actually get it heard in court. This bitch just served him divorce papers this month. Why you wait this long?
Why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found out yesterday. TMZ had the story. So they agreed on no spousal support. And the baby is due in January. So imagine he can't get the divorce proceedings heard until January.
Oh,
now imagine she has that baby and she's still married to him. I'll let that sit right there.
Oh, God. What's her boyfriend's name again? I forgot.
Ken Urker.
Ken. That's right. What a mess.
Yeah, it's a real hot mess. He's and this is what's so funny. It's not even been 2 months. I know during the live I said, "Hey y'all, in North Carolina, you have to be separated for a year before you can file for divorce, right?"
That's right. That's right.
So now, and it's the same law in Louisiana, except it's 6 months. So thank God it's 6 instead of a year. That baby be damn near 5 months before he could go to court and get the damn divorce hearing heard. He's in a bad situation. He better pray like hell. He gets a judge that's got all their ducks in a row.
Right. Oh God.
But he's got every right to say, "I need a paternity test just to make sure."
He should. Absolutely.
I had some busy person in the chat the other day talking about, "I know that's such and such baby. It's kids because You don't know what was going on with Gypsy Rose and her husband. And then Gypsy Rose, you can't believe all that she said is the truth or not. You don't know if she was still
No,
having
we
sex with Ryan
cannot.
or not.
I don't believe a
Just
lot
because
of what she
just because
says.
she left him, it don't mean she wasn't having sex with her husband. You can't say what she
Yep.
wasn't doing. No.
Okay.
I would never sit up here and say, "Oh yeah, I think they stopped having sex on this day in March."
Oh, God Almighty! Really?
Stupid people talk. That's stupid people talk.
Jeez.
You got people that
Oh,
live in the
God.
house, they're supposed to be getting a divorce, and they're still having sex with each other. So you can't say what a person is doing inside their own house.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah. You see people that's getting divorced still living together. You still get a divorce and still have sex.
I lived with my ex-husband for 3.5 years just as friends.
Why?
Because my son was having a lot of problems.
Lord.
And my ex-husband helped me and my son through all that. And then I got my own place.
I see. Well, that's my point.
And praise God, my son's been sober for years now.
So that's my point, is that you don't know what going on behind closed doors, and you can't assume that you know what is going on with people in their lives. You can just say, I wouldn't do that, or I don't think I would do that. But you don't know when that woman stopped having sexual relations with her damn husband.
Correct.
It's just a wild story. It's wow.
Crazy.
So we talked about the dump truck, information he's giving the police about what he didn't see right or whatever at the house, Vigil searches. We talked about the child at the beginning because I missed that because I didn't know he was live. I didn't think, kept waiting for the notification. So showing videos and pictures of the baby, you know, at the aquarium, different places. Trying to remember everything that was said. Keeping the child's name out there. Oh, then we talked about the flyers being up, where somebody has a flyer up in North Carolina saying that the boy's been recovered.
What in the world was that about?
Yeah.
I can't believe somebody would do that.
So he said he's going to be checking into that tomorrow, or today rather. So that's very bizarre too. But like I told you, that is
very strange.
That could be any random sicko wacko, because you just have people who do sick and morbid stuff.
Yep. People are strange.
Even in Hendersonville, it don't necessarily have to be anybody that's related to the Proudfoot side of the family taking the signs down. Because a lot of people think that could be some random person that's just evil and vindictive. So you don't know because you're not there to see.
Hey, unfortunately, we do have that situation go on in this world. Believe that.
Yeah, but it's just evil people that do evil shit.
Correct. It just is.
The Petito thing, that's jacked up. Why are you bothering these people, threatening the foundation about putting his personal business out there? Joe's been out in the public since the girl went missing. So what secret do you have to reveal about Joe Petito?
I was going to ask you about that. Because I don't even understand why anybody would want to do that to Joe.
Somebody miserable. So you know what that sounds like? That sounds like something personal against Seth.
Really?
Of course. What other reason could it be? The child ain't done nothing to you. And really, you can't say that Seth did something to you. So that's where I'm taking it. It sounds like it's something personal against him. He's the one that's talking about him the most. He's the one out here looking for him. So why would I not think it wasn't personal towards him?
That's true. That's true.
Uh-huh.
Yep. I agree.
So you can ready to do what to Joe Petito? You fuck around with Joe Petito if you want to, your ass gonna be laying face down somewhere.
Oh,
see, that's all a ruse. Ain't nobody getting ready to do nothing to Joe Petito or that family. That people have been out in the public for years and nothing has happened to them. Knock on wood. That's why I said this is some personal Seth bullshit going on. You all don't want him talking to Joe Petito for whatever reason. 9 times out of 10 is because you don't care for Seth. That I told you, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like some YouTube shit.
Okay.
It sounds like some personal, some dirty YouTuber that ain't on page with Seth. Don't like him. So let me go mess with these Petito people. You did that. You a low down motherfucker.
What is wrong with you? Get a life.
Yeah, you need a whole life.
Give me a break. Oh my God.
Because whether you like Seth or not, he still ain't done nothing to you personally. Rather the Petitos, we already know you ain't invested in that story. That story's old. So this is some personal stuff I think against Seth. And it's pathetic. That shows you don't care anything about Sebastian. Because in the end, he is a part. Sebastian is a part of him. Just like he's a part of Katie. Whether you like Katie or not.
I don't like Katie. Oh, sorry, did I say that out loud?
Matter. Those are still his parents.
I know. I just, yeah.
I mean, everybody's got their own feelings about all of them. But what I'm saying is, the Petitos don't have nothing to do with these people. Why?
That's what I was just going to say.
That don't make any sense.
Right.
They don't have anything to do with this. Joe Petito don't know Seth from a can of paint.
Yep.
They didn't go threaten Chris Madonna. Chris Madonna didn't talk to him. He mentioned that, which I think is interesting. I also think it's interesting that I ain't never heard him do an interview with Chris Madonna. Why not? But he says they're talking privately, don't know about what. But you know what? I tread lightly with that too. All hell broke loose when he ended up talking to Boy H. You remember that?
Oh boy.
And don't you find it strange? It's 3 years later, ain't one news broadcast that ever talked about Boy H ever.
Why hasn't Hunter said anything?
I should have called the news a long time ago and asked him. You've been breaking these stories every fucking day about Summer Wells. When are you gonna talk about Boy H?
Right. Because I think Hunter knows a lot more than he's talking about. That's
I find that very strange. And nowadays, news will start talking about social media, hype, this and that, because it's a part of the story. Once it becomes a part of the story, the news will start talking about it. Kind of like how reality TV will have the housewives, and then they just start talking about what TMZ said, because they know it plays a role into them filming these famous people, these reality people. So I say the news, you all should have been talking to Boy H, because let me tell you something. People would have been stunned to know about Boy H, because there's people to this day still don't know that Boy H exists.
Oh my God.
They just know Summer's missing. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
And Chris Madonna knows he didn't have no business talking to Boy H because he's a former detective. You know you weren't supposed to talk to Boy H because he's a witness. Now people say, well, Queen, I'm glad he did it because we learned he did this. Da, 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 da. I said, yeah, but the flip side is some of you don't believe the stuff that Boy H said. So what's the difference? Some of you believe what he said, some of you don't. But the point is, he's a witness. A detective knows not to go meddling with a witness. Chris Madonna know that. You're not supposed to do that.
I didn't think of that. Didn't think of that.
Yeah, Chris Madonna know he ain't messing with these other people in these stories that's potential witnesses in crimes. Why are you not interviewing these other people?
Well, maybe he learned his lesson.
You understand what I'm saying? There's 1,000 stories out here. You ain't knocking on the door. That Micah girl that was killed herself allegedly in South Carolina. You got all kind of news stories out here right now. You don't see Chris Madonna banging on them damn doors trying to find a witness. Because he know that the cops will tell him, now Chris Madonna, you know damn better.
I got nothing. I didn't even think about it.
He ain't talked to Katie. He ain't talked to Katie. He ain't talked to Chris. He ain't talked to Seth. Y'all better wake up.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Maybe he.
Why not go talk to the people that were with him that day? Ding, 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 ding.
Ting.
Uh-huh. The lady with the who is it with the niece? Go talk to her. Go call her. Hey, I want to talk to you. Where all did y'all go? You and Katie. And the children, where are you taking? What time did she leave? Did she say where she was going, what she's doing? Go call her.
Yeah.
And you ain't heard nothing from her. Y'all don't find that funny? I tell you, don't nobody pay attention to the story.
I don't know. Your brain sure does work
It's in rotation.
way far beyond mine. You're
My brain stays in
so
rotation even when I'm asleep.
you're so smart. I don't think
Everybody talking like a typewriter, but ain't no. Where are the people that was with them that day? Y'all ain't got nothing to say to the news or Chris Dunn or a YouTuber. Why is that?
Let's just crawl into the clown car.
Why not tell the world what mood the little boy was in? He had a colossal size of popcorn.
Oh God, not the snacks.
Soda pop. He had a Mountain Dew. Just come out and tell us. Tell us what he was doing, what he said, how the children interacted. Why not? Why are all you all together talking to the news like the Petitos did? Bingo card. Come on with it, Queen.
Ding.
Listen, the Petitos did it. Riley Strange's family did it. But yet, Chris and Katie, they ain't trying to meet up with Seth to stand as united front for their child missing.
Right.
Like somebody said, you ain't got to like each other, but you can do a news interview together.
Yeah.
All y'all sit at a round table and talk about the boy missing. That should have been done day fucking one.
I agree.
Oh, they also, somebody in the chat asked if he was dating somebody. He told them no, he wasn't. Oh, they would know that. Girl, they was all up in it.
Why is that relevant?
They was all up in Seth boxes.
Why is that relevant? Oh my gosh.
Are you dating anybody? Why? So you can go make up some shit about her? Who would want to date Seth after the way you people act? Think about it. Any woman that's heard this story and she's been on social media or YouTube, she'd be like, hell no. Oh, she couldn't even like him, get to know him, but she'd be scared to be seen in public with him because she know they're going to do them, try to find her, get a tag number, dox her, look up anything about her. They'd be worried about when she last paid her mortgage. Because he's some
do a background check on her.
And most of the people that do all that digging, they got some skeletons in their fucking closet.
Well, no doubt. Yep.
Because you don't have no business worrying about who he dating, liking, none of that. And he know not to tell nobody no way. If he met somebody right now, he would be a fool to tell him he met a young lady.
I don't think he would even
I wouldn't tell nobody nothing.
Nope.
Oh, I drive by Seth's house and I see this car that sits out there all the time. You probably got some stupid people that's doing it now. Sicko wackos. Sitting here running by his house, looking and lurking like a damn stalker. Let me ask you something, and I'm going to check out of here. What do you think the neighbors are thinking at this point?
Which neighbors?
Oh, the Proudfoot's neighbors.
Well, I mean, I thought it was really effed up that the one, quote, neighbor 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 6 blocks away, whatever she was, in the car in the dark. Now look, I love the person that did the content. I really do love him, but when that person was in the car and I didn't believe a lot because you said you're like, what, a block away or 2 blocks away from the house. And so said this, and Pookie said that, Ray said that, and the clown cars and everything else. Why would you even come on and say a freaking word if you don't have firsthand knowledge
Mm-hmm.
of any of it. So that was a total wash for me. I wasn't
the
even
alleged person that
listening.
knows, they don't want their face seen talking. That's what that's.
Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't even. I didn't even listen to it. What do I think of the neighbors? What they think right now, like across the street or next door?
Just people close by, yeah. And some of the other people who know about the story. I'm sure most of the people out there know about the story. But just imagine the people, I
They've
guess,
got to be
right
paying
close by.
attention, wouldn't you think?
What do the people right close are thinking? Because they're seeing them come and go.
Right. Well, they probably just watch and don't really know what to say.
I mean,
Unless
in their head, what are they thinking?
Oh, well, what the heck? How did you get away with it? Where's your kid? Where is he? What are you doing? Where's your cameras? You work for Brinks? You ain't got no cameras? You ain't got no fucking nothing? And you're telling us that you have little fairy lights in the garden? No, Chris said, well, we have the lights in the back of the garage. Oh, yeah, that's right. So they have lights, right? But she forgot they were on. They're on all the time. Oh, that's right. But you work for a security company and you don't have security. Isn't that bloody convenient? So, any of the neighbors,
so I don't know if that's true or not.
What's that?
Somebody in chat, I think, was saying that they've seen lights on, or somebody saying they've seen them on now after the fact. I don't know what's the truth because I'm not there. That's why I see somebody with a direct light of the house that could say, I've been noticing them on. Here's my doorbell camera show that they usually turn on at night and still on, but just so happened that night they weren't on. See where I'm going?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they did, they should have told law enforcement right in the beginning.
They probably already went to their door and got doorbell camera footage.
Well, we haven't heard a word. And that's so frustrating.
They're not gonna tell you that because that's somebody's safety, so they're not gonna tell you that. Police ain't gonna tell you nothing about that neighborhood and what they've seen and heard. You understand what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to doorbell footage, because they know these people got to live by the Proudfoots.
That's true. That's true.
So really, when those people came forward, that guy who allegedly talked to Sweetie Pie Low or whomever, he really put his life in danger because if they got a child missing, your ass can get missing, and you right next door.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I don't know.
Of course, it's a coward that would kill a child. But the point is, if let's just say they unalive the child, a murderer is still a murderer, cowardly or not. And you can't put nothing past a desperate person because desperate people do desperate things. And then the elderly too, they know you coming and going, they watching your house. They can easily find somebody to slide over there and take care of you.
Right.
I don't trust anybody.
I don't know. The whole story just doesn't sound right to me from the very start. That's.
I thought about that yesterday. Him running away.
25th, 26th, Chris home, Chris not, Don home, Don not. I mean, the whole thing just is too similar to Summer.
The child's mindset. Would he have the mindset to run away? So you got to ask all the type of questions.
Sebastian?
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, he didn't want to go home. I mean, there is that possibility.
Well, could be. But I can think something that don't mean I do it. So you got to know that he thought about it. You got to know that he did it. And then he just stayed out in the elements, ran somewhere and just stayed out there. I don't know. I don't know if I can register that in my head.
Wasn't in the 40s that night. Allegedly didn't have shoes on. Just a long sleeve shirt and a flashlight, but not his phone, not his shoes, not a jacket.
And then the father, he ain't the type to go outside. Listen, He said he's not the type to go outside because of an incident before, so I have to weigh all that too. Am I going to run out there with nothing on because of what? I'm mad at the world, but I don't want my feet to get dirty. No, he'll put shoes on. Unless his life's in danger and he was running out for his life, that'd be different.
Oh, jeez, I hope not. I don't know. That whole thing is weird, and the lights, and there's just so many questions.
I think what's going to be the proof in the pudding is whatever they found at the house. Detectives, anything they use forensic, like luminol spray, whatever. Doorbell cameras from all the neighbors that can have a bullseye view, corner view of the house, and data on their phones. That's what's going to tell it, like it always do.
Absolutely.
Because most people who have gotten caught in true crime that dealt with homicide, they got caught from all those things I just named. 1, 3, or however many. Because you always forget something.
Oh, absolutely.
And of course.
Yep. I just hope it's not the case. I hope he ran away and he's safe and this will all come to a head, but it's been 5 months. That's what freaks me out.
But you got to think about this. Where would he run? He didn't talk to nobody. He didn't deal with nobody allegedly.
Oh, that's right. He wasn't online.
And he wouldn't have been smart enough in his own mind, I don't think, to try to cover up talking to somebody on the phone. That'd be the first thing they're going to look at is his phone and trace anybody he talked to and trace the number and try to figure out who it is. And they're going to go talk to that person. Hey, did you, what y'all talking about? How long y'all been friends? How did y'all meet? They're going to be on them white on rights.
Yeah, that's true.
And, it's a sad thing to think, it's nefarious, but I don't think the child ran out. I just don't think he ran out. Just from statistics from the FBI, I'm leaning toward what the FBI has on their roster. And I don't think the child ran away. Because what I tell myself is, why would this case be any different than any other case in the United States? It wouldn't be. Because one, you didn't know those people and those children that went missing and it ended up being foul play. So what would be the difference between that case, Summer Wells' case? You understand what I'm saying? There is no difference.
Allison Chow ran away because of her mom.
Yeah, okay.
And a week later, she was found by a total stranger.
Okay, but that's 1 week later.
Yeah.
And she probably had, her capacity is not the same as Sebastian's. So you got to count all of those things. The type of, this child is on the spectrum. So his mindset is not going to be the same of a child that, don't have any disabilities.
Darn it.
He's not getting ready to plan anything out.
Right.
His autism. So that's different than a child that says, okay, I'm sick of this. I'm going to run away. I'm going to pack a bag. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm just hoping that everything turns out okay.
Now, children do run away. You do have kidnappings, human trafficking, but I think they would have alluded to the fact of all that in the beginning if they saw any of that, the detectives. We believe he ran away. We believe, you see what I'm saying? We believe it's human trafficking. Yeah. We believe it was a kidnapping. We see that somebody broke into the house, jimmied the door, something like that. Strange car sitting on the street. We believe somebody followed the mother home.
I don't want this to be similar to, what I'm going to say.
Nobody wants a worst case scenario, but you have to amass the time frame. We're not 5 months. That's a long time now. We started this journey day 1, week 1, week 2. We're not 5 months. In a few months, we will be back in coats and boots. That's how fast time is rolling by. And that's what's scary about the situation. Who would have thought we would be now at 5 fucking months?
Right.
with nothing, not even an update from the
No
damn
update.
Sumner County. And as
What?
of late, something in the water in that region ain't good.
Right.
We got the girl who killed a 7-year-old. Then an hour or so away, that boy decided to dump that girl's body in Hendersonville. What the hell's going on?
Oh my God.
And then we got a 15-year-old missing from Hendersonville. Still. So the soil is tainted. It's tainted bad. Now that place got an omen on it. You see what I'm saying? Small town. 30-something thousand people. It's death reeking there. And it's not funny.
No, not at
Because
all.
I'm sure the police, sheriff, whomever, TBI, they're saying to themselves, what are the odds? We've got a young girl dumped by a young boy. We got another young woman who's killed her kid in a lake. And then we got a 15-year-old missing. All in less than a year.
Right.
That don't usually happen in a small town. That much death. Usually it's, older people dying. Somebody had maybe a car wreck or a motorcycle wreck. But it just shows you that people are sick and they're ill.
I'm just pray that he's found okay.
People are sick and they're ill. I haven't even heard any more about that boy that dumped that girl. Because he's a minor.
How old was he again? 16?
Yeah, they're minor. Both of them minor.
15.
So I can only imagine his family, what they're going through, what her family's going through, the motive.
Right.
Don't know if they dated, what happened for it to get to the point of you unaliving her. It's just scary as hell. It's just scary. Absolutely scary. I don't know. Well, I'm going to check out of here. I'm at 3 hours.
All right, hon.
Be careful.
No, you be safe, and I appreciate
going
you letting
to.
me come up and talk to you.
And stay
Thank
out
you.
on YouTube streets.
At least don't comment.
Okay.
Thank you, Ange.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
All right, everybody. That's Melissa from Minnesota. Thank you all so much for joining me. And thank you, Mr. Seth, for popping in briefly. We'll be praying for you. This is a terrible, terrible, horrific situation to be in. And as I've said before during the live stream, there's shoes I don't ever want to wear, ever. I've seen, just how bad it can get for family members. Just the sheer terror of not knowing. I've dealt with some people recently, past couple of years here in Knoxville, because we had some cases here, people that went missing. One was found and 2, they're still missing. They're adults, of course. But it's just scary knowing that the people were walking around and breathing and eating and then poof, they're gone. So I think of this case the same way. This kid was living in a house with 2 people, pets, and now he's poof, voila, go. Where is he? And that's a scary thing. And I think about it all the time. And I don't like thinking about the macabre, because I always say, you can speak that what into existence. I mean, it's in the scriptures and Psalms. Speak it and it shall be so. So I try to be very careful what I think about, what I dwell on. Try not to speak anything, negative, felonious, nefarious into existence. That's why I don't really like talking about macabre things all the time, because I just feel like you can invite the omen in. You can invite it in, especially when that's all you're talking about 24 hours a day. It's too much. You're welcome. So I think about this case, other cases of missing people, cases of, homicide. It's scary. Because every day you got to get up, you got to go to work, you got to go to school, you got to go to church, you got to go visit a person, you got to go to the store, you got to go shop, you got to go travel. And you just assuming you're going to walk out to your destination and make it and then make your way back. And I'm sure the people who were now missing, they thought the same thing. You're welcome, sweetheart. They thought the same thing. They had no idea they were going to meet foul play. And I just think we as people, we take for granted walking out the door, sleeping in our bed, walking around our house, our apartment, and nothing bad's going to happen in there or outside that door. You don't know people. You can't trust friends, family, acquaintances, strangers. There's no such thing as trust. You know, I hear people talk crazy all the time about what they think they know about people. And, oh, yeah, I know this, I know this. You think you know. You don't know anything. I always tell people, if you think you know so much, then go have a talk with the person at the cemetery. That's what you do. You know so much about Peter, Paul, Dick, Bubba. Go talk to that dead person in the cemetery and see if they'll talk back to you. See if they'll share something with you. Yeah, they can't. We take life for granted every single day. I know that when I shower, I'll let the TV play and I'll be listening to something, you know, I'll let YouTube play in the background, you know, 48 hours, some type of, you know, true crime, which I shouldn't even be doing that. But, you know, just to keep me company. And it's just amazing that people going missing. You know, listening to a case out in Arizona, old cases. 2 girls, one was a woman, one was a girl, found in a canal, finally traced the killer years later. He's walking around right there in front of everybody because that's the whole point. They're always walking around in front of everybody. Zombie killer is what they called him. He did this crime when he was young. Stabbed a woman in her back. Didn't even do, you know, a lot of time because he was a minor. And I blame the system because you should have had him go straight from juvenile to adult prison. Because at 16, you're old enough to know better. You'll get a fucking free pass, 2 years in a juvenile facility for stabbing a woman in the back. But that's our system. It's flawed. So then we now go from a 16-year-old stabbing somebody to also a murderer. And everybody knew him in town. People taking pictures with him because he had his car tricked out, an old police car with zombie shit all on it, zombies in the back seat. You know, just crazy nonsense. Yeah. He was fascinated with zombies and stuff because he was a killer. Duh. But nobody knew. But the wife knew because he told her a story about killing a girl. Did she ever go to the police? Held the secret. What did I tell you? Killers talk. They share the secret with somebody. And they'll stupid people hold the secret. Well, I didn't know if I believed it or not. And then I wanted to be a good wife. And I never heard her say nothing about, oh, I was afraid for my safety. Because most people be waiting for you to say that. Oh, you didn't stay out of fear. You want to be a good wife. He just told you to kill somebody. What the hell are you saying? This is what I'm talking about. You don't know people. And you have people right now who have told people they have murdered someone and gave descriptive detail. Some believe it, some may not. But then you have to also tell yourself, if I don't believe this, then what kind of person am I dealing with that would even tell me some shit like this in the first place? What type of person tells a person this? I've seen it all, heard crazy stuff myself. And I had that question myself. What the hell am I listening to? This person is telling me something that's nefarious in nature. Who is this person? And I tell myself, you don't know them. That's what they're telling me. Because you don't fully know anybody. And then I think about the guy's statement before the judge gave her rendering. The death penalty was on the table for killing those 2 women. He spoke I'm sorry about what these people had to go through. They finally know the truth, blah, blah, blah. It's not about me, it's about them. He thanked the judge for giving him the opportunity to speak. And then the judge gave her a rendering. She gave him death. She gave him death. Rightfully so. Because he stole 2 lives. Stabbed a woman. That's what he deserved. Assaulted one woman. Got off on that charge because she was a street person. And he talked his way out of that. And then what's the gist of this story that I'm spinning to you? True story. He blamed his mother for being a demon. Because she was mean to him growing up. She was in jail security is what she was, a jail guard. And he blamed her for being mean to him, ridiculing him, subjecting him to beatings. She also subjected him to violent sex, porn. So probably not telling what else she was doing with a child, nefarious, nasty bat. And this is a woman we're talking about. So what I said to myself when I heard that, I said, that's why he turned out the way he did. That's why he was assaulting women. He hated women because he hated his mother. But then the flip side is, we've seen this a lot with serial killers, rapists. They'll have a girlfriend or a wife. BTK, he had a wife, he had kids. So here this guy, he's had a wife and a daughter. House hoarded up, nasty, filthy. Oh my God, the pictures make you scream. And the first thing I thought was, wait a minute. He grew up with a violent mother. She subjected him to beatings, violent porn, and then he had a kid, got married, had a kid, then they divorced. So then you have to ask yourself, well, then what was he doing with his daughter? Exactly. Imagine that. Because I don't want to. Wife talked about violent sex, and yet she stayed. Until eventually she bowed out. See, a lot of people hold people's secrets. And that's scarier than the person walking around that's committing the crimes, is that they've told somebody of their secrets, dirty secrets. And somebody else is walking around carrying the secrets with them. That's even more detrimental. So every day when you walk out here, you go outside your door, work, school, church, whatever, you just need to be mindful of the company you're in. Know that everybody's not your friend. Everybody don't wish you well. And you need to pay attention to how people act, how they talk. You just need to be aware. And of course, you're never going to know, the day that you're going to meet the devil himself or herself. But just try to be aware of your faculties and your surroundings. You just need to be aware. And we've talked about this before on the network, being out at night, shopping late, doing things, the crazy stuff that Queen does that she knows she ain't supposed to be doing. Because I've been telling myself that for the past month and a half, stop that, stop that, stop that. You need to be careful out, especially when you're in an area where, the people look a bit unsavory. You need to be careful shopping because they'll think, hey, she got some money. You just have to be careful out here. She just don't know people. You have to also be careful even in your home because bad things happen to people in their house, in their apartments. Hallways, elevators, staircases, parking garages, don't matter. Crime is everywhere. Prayers to Seth Rogers. Praying that he gets answers. I pray that he continues to talk to law enforcement. Please talk to them. Try to keep an open line of communication with them because they are the ones investigating, your son's disappearance. And you want to be around and accessible for these people to contact you at a given moment. Even if you don't like some things that they're doing or saying, just keep that line open anyway. Do your best to try to. Prayers for Sebastian. It's kind of hard looking at the videos and the pictures. I myself, I can't do it. It's hard for me to look at the pictures of him as a child, as a small boy. And it's hard for me to look at pictures of him at 15, 14. It's just hard to look at the pictures. With what I've seen and heard from the other people in the story, it's very hard for me to look at any pictures of him. It's very hard. And I'm sure for his father, it's even worse because that's his child. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'll be back later with Gypsy Rose, Ryan Anderson content. We're going to chop that up later today. I've got a lot of information to bring you pertaining to their marriage, bombshell information. It's going to be a doozy. So check back with me several hours from now for that live stream. You don't want to miss that content. Check your notifications for when I go live. And also check my YouTube shorts and uploaded videos. So I did a lot of videos yesterday, shorts. I've been on the grind. Good night, honey. Good night, everybody. I see all of you, Jade, Shakira, Melissa, sweet Melissa. Got two Melissas. Gio, thank you all so much for joining me. JH, aloha. I'll talk to you guys later. Prayers for the missing, prayers for our children. And Lord knows, prayers for our country. You're welcome, sweetheart. Said sweet Melissa. Two Melissas. You all be careful out there. Feel free to go back to the beginning of this live, chop it up at your convenience because we're not at 3 hours and 22 minutes. Didn't plan to go this long, but anywho. And check out Seth's live stream. He went live yesterday. So I've done 2 videos now. I streamed the video and then played the video during this live stream, and we just chopped up most of the things that he mentioned during the live stream. He said maybe we're twins. Y'all might be. I don't know. Maybe. I got 3 Melissas now on board. The other one, I don't know where she is. She's missing in action. That's who I thought was in the chat. Now I looked at the picture. I said, it don't look like her. I don't know where the other Melissa is. She's somewhere down in Georgia. Hopefully everything's okay with her. I hadn't heard from her in a while. All right, everybody. Y'all have a wonderful morning. Be safe. Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water, fluids. Stay out that heat. Check on the elderly, too. Please, check on the elderly. All right, I'm out of here, everybody. Thank you. You have been listening to the Vault XL.